And we've been doing this kind of work for a very, very long time.
That's National Black Farmers Association founder and president John Boyd. Today, he says farmers are facing a new kind of adversity, stemming from the Trump administration's tariff policies.
Many Americans don't know that farmers are price takers. We're not price givers. So my price is based on the market.
Market volatility surrounding tariff uncertainty is impacting almost every industry, including farmers. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies to same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect that of the staff and management of Good Karma Brands, but are the sole responsibility of the host and guests of this particular show.
America may have many, many days, but they will be full of trouble. There will be no rest. There will be no tranquility in this country until the nation comes to terms with our problems.
Bringing you social and political commentary from his mouth to your ears, breaking down the issues which matter to you.
You're not put here to be a white man's footstool. You're put here to represent the very best in God's word.
Legendary civil rights icon, the Reverend Jesse Jackson in the studio. Reverend Jackson, how are you?
Mr. Reverend, good morning on this chilly Milwaukee morning.
And I am pleased to have one of the founding members of the Black Panther Party, Chairman Bobby Seale. Mr. Chairman, how are you this morning?
Good morning. I'm doing just fine. Thank you.
To Mr. Eric Holder. Mr. Holder, so good to see you. How are you?
Well, I'm fine, man. How you been? It's been a long time. Haven't seen you for a while.
The Dr. Cornell West. Dr. West, how are you, sir?
My dear brother, you're so kind, you're so generous, though, man. But I salute you and the work that you were doing there. Doing a magnificent job there in Wisconsin.
Stream live on 1017thetruth.com. Call in with your questions or comments. 833-212-1017. Join us on social media at 1017thetruth. It may not be what you expect to hear, but I will definitely give you what you need to know. Are you ready for the truth?
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Sherwin Hughes.
Good morning. Welcome to the program. Today is Wednesday, June 18th, 2025. Tomorrow is June 19th, also known as Juneteenth Day, where in this city we have, I believe, the oldest or one of the oldest Juneteenth commemorations, celebrations, parades in the entire country. This year marks 54 years in which Milwaukee is celebrating what I call America's real Independence Day. The combination of the beginning of Summerfest coincides with Juneteenth Day, and there is a collaboration of sorts. At some point during the show, I likely will give you the huge music lineup of artists featured not just on Juneteenth Day before the entire weekend. In previous years, if you've listened to me, I lamented that Juneteenth Day wasn't taken serious enough. This is prior to it becoming a national holiday, which Joe Biden signed into law, which he gets absolutely zero credit for. But I think that was a step in the right direction because I want the holiday to be presented differently, to be presented better, to be not just an asterisk of American history, but a significant part of it, and for it to be taught objectively and matter of fact. as a part of an overall curriculum of black people's interaction with the United States and how incredibly important we are to every single facet of daily life. So I wanted Juneteenth Day to be elevated, and because I've celebrated Juneteenth Day in this city literally my entire life. Even if I was away at college, I was always home for June 19th. I remember growing up as a little kid. I remember when Juneteenth Day went till midnight, so I'm very, very familiar with it. But I've wanted it to be more than just a street festival with just a bunch of black people. And so I actually considered many years ago that maybe Juneteenth Day, because we haven't had an African World Festival in many, many years. You know how the other ethnic festivals take place at the Summerfest grounds? You got the German Festa and the Polish Festa and the Festa Italiana. Don't know if they're going to have a Mexican fiesta. Anybody looked into that? That wouldn't be smart, because ICE would pose as people like taking your tickets. Like, oh, hi, welcome to Mexican fiesta. Gotcha. But we have all these other ethnic festivals. In fact, the city of Milwaukee is known as the city of festivals because all these different ethnic groups, and the Polish and the Irish. There's even an Indian summer festival where the Native American people have their festival. There's so very many of them, but we don't have an African World Festival at the Summerfest grounds, which is sad. It's disappointing. It's also very complicated. It's financial, it's political, et cetera, et cetera. The largest minority group in this city, because when we talk about Milwaukee, you can't talk about this city without it being mentioned that we are a majority minority city. We are a heavily Democratic voting city, and the largest minority group in the city, African Americans, that has tremendous spending power, is the only ethnic group, racial group, that does not have an ethnic festival at the Henry Mayer Meyer Festival grounds. And that never sat well with me. And so in my mind, I said, why don't we have our Juneteenth Day festivals at the Summerfest grounds? It's just one day, and it could suffice for not having an African World Festival. And to the best of my knowledge, June 19th is rarely a date in which there are other festivals going on at that particular park. Well, fairly recently, I got my wish. Sometimes you got to be careful what you wish for. Here's what I'm concerned about. And so, FYI, I am not going to be participating with 1017 The Truth in any Juneteenth Day activities. I may go down to the festival, but I'm going there as a civilian, just as a casual person. I won't be wearing any Truth t-shirts or hats if I decide to go, because I'm on vacation. My vacation, I'm already counting the clock down now. My vacation starts in 2 hours and 51 minutes. So I may go down to Juneteenth Day and say hello to some people. I may stop by the 1017 The Truth broadcast tent. Hell, I may not. I might walk past them like I don't even know them. I don't know yet. Depends on how your boy feels when he wakes up in the morning. But here's what I'm concerned about. So I said, Juneteenth Day needs to be elevated. It needs to be celebrated by everybody. It's not just a black street festival, because I think that minimizes what the damn day is. And you know what really hit home for me? Y'all remember Eric Hovde? Yeah, I barely remember him either. But he was a candidate for U.S. Senate, and he visited the 1017 The Truth broadcast at Juneteenth Day last year because we do a live broadcast. I wasn't there when he was doing his little broadcast. I don't know where I was at. Probably somewhere with some catfish and a turkey leg. I don't know where I was. But I heard a part of the interview that Eric Hovde did when he sat down with some of my colleagues here at 1017 The Truth. And the way he talked about Juneteenth Day, I was mad for like 2 weeks. He was like, look at this. Look at your little party you're having. Look at your little vendors. Look at this. And then he said he never heard of Juneteenth Day until like 11 or 12 years prior to. This dude is in his 50s. So for 40-something years of his life, he was unfamiliar. He did not know what it was. That bothered me tremendously. And so that actually was more fuel for my fire that we need to elevate this holiday and get it off of King Drive and put it somewhere where it can be centrally accessed and also can be like put on a pedestal, right? This is our holiday. And so, it's Summerfest is collaborating with Juneteenth Day, and I don't like how it's going. And maybe this is me just complaining too much, but I also fear something in this city. I fear that what so many African Americans have worked for and have fought for and have protested for and have sacrificed for in the city of Milwaukee. Like, we are this really weird petri dish of racial experimentation. When you begin with residential segregation and housing segregation, and you fund the schools off of the property taxes, but we know that neighborhoods that are designated majority black, the houses are worth less money, therefore the property tax revenue is going to be less, therefore you have an excuse to do two things: invest less in the schools because the schools are funded by the neighborhoods that are majority black and they're worth less because, black people, but it also gives the greater district the ability to ask for more money in a referendum so they can get more money and more streams of revenue for high performing schools. So I'm very upset about that whole thing. But then also, when you try and end the housing segregation and the racial segregation, you do this thing called low-income housing, and you want to have low-income housing in places where there was moderate-income housing and high-income housing. There's all sorts of pushback from that. We know that there is still a disproportionate amount of discrimination in the job market in Milwaukee. We know that the Milwaukee Police Department, up until a couple years ago, not sure where the hell it is now, was under a damn consent decree because black men and Latino men were racially profiled 8-9 times more likely to be pulled over than white men. So there's a lot of things going on in this unusual mix, this racial petri dish, this experiment that is Milwaukee, and I fear that we are not being taken seriously. That's what I fear, because I like all the celebration, I like all the jubilation, I like the dancing and the jiggulations in the street and all of the twerking. It's all very fun. I love all of the fun things, but I don't know if we are being taken serious. And I got a couple of things I want to share with you, and I want you all to be honest with me. Am I just getting old and grumpy? Am I just overthinking this? Now, I got some reasons and some evidence as to why I don't think that we are being taken seriously as African Americans in the city of Milwaukee. And maybe I'm just looking at it through a very particular lens, a very critical lens. But I don't know if we're being taken seriously in the struggle that still exists in our community. I see the amount of money that they spent to try and curb reckless driving and all the police efforts. And we argue over red light cameras. And I know that there was some dollars allocated to driver's education because that is a main factor in why some of these are young people. Now, I don't have any excuses for old people to drive recklessly. If you're 40 plus years old and you drive recklessly, you need to lose your car, your license, several pairs of shoes, some jewelry. Like, there's just no excuse for that, because if you're old, you know better. You know how expensive our car insurance is, even though I'm thoroughly convinced that car insurance companies rip us off. Well, they do rip us off, because if you live in particular neighborhoods, they'll say, oh, well, in urban neighborhoods, there's more like fender benders because there's more people, there's more congestion, and there's more traffic. And they actually use that as an excuse to elevate your car insurance rates. Have y'all noticed how much your car insurance rates have gone up over the years, especially if you live in the city of Milwaukee, majority black neighborhoods? Did you also know that they can increase your car insurance rates and what you pay for insurance overall based on your credit score? I don't like that either. But they say, well, because you live in a zip code where there's a lot of fender benders and a lot of cars get stolen. Yeah, but I haven't had any fender benders and my cars have never been stolen. So why are you arbitrarily raising my rates for stuff that's never even happened to me? So they're screwing us over too. They're not taking us seriously. There's an event. I'm going to give you more details when I come back from this break. So it's called A Taste of Juneteenth at Summerfest. So this is the first year that the two, I guess, events, a signature event, both are signature events, because you had, Summerfest and Juneteenth been going on for about the same amount of time. Can somebody do some quick math for me? 1968, how many years ago was that? 57 years. Xavier's, he's on the ones and twos, so they shout out to Xavier. Between Xavier and Benjamin, ain't a mathematician between the two of them. But I'm not blaming y'all because I can't do no math either. So 57 years, right? Ben said roughly 57 years. Well, Juneteenth Day in Milwaukee has been celebrated for 54. Summerfest has been celebrated for 57. So these events they're the same age. Summerfest in Milwaukee And Juneteenth, they would have went to high school together because they're about the same age. But this is the first year, 2025, in which they are essentially combining forces. I'm going to give you some details on the combination of the forces. I'm going to talk about this particular event called A Taste of Juneteenth at Summerfest. I don't like it. Also, have y'all seen that statue? It's a 9-foot-tall statue of a black man in Vel Phillips Plaza. And he's dressed like a damn Kia boy. And it's supposed to, because they did this thing in New York where they put these statues of these big ass black women all over the place. And it's supposed to like represent us being seen. We're here, we're black people. I think they're making a mockery of us. And this is what I'm worried about. I'm worried that they're not taking us seriously. You can just put up a statue. I'm looking at the statue right now. He got on Air Force Ones and a hoodie. And it's it's on 4th Street on Vel Phillips and Vel Phillips Plaza, like 4th, and this must be Wisconsin, right down the street from where I'm at right now. I don't think they're taking us seriously. So I'm going to take a break, come back. I'm going to talk about this Taste of Juneteenth at Summerfest. I do want to talk about the statue. It's called Within the Folds. It's a 9-foot-tall mockery or a caricature of an African-American man. He's just standing there. Like, none of these things, in my opinion, contribute to the seriousness of the data and the statistics and the disparities that still exist in the black community. I'm all for all the fun and the dancing and the twerking and the jigulation and the jubilation, but I don't want us to just be swept under the rug because, oh, look, you've combined with Summerfest. There's no issues. There's no problems anymore. What do you black people want? Because I feel like we're heading down that path. Like, oh, what more do you blacks want? We're doing social events for you. We still have real work to do. Today, we talks about that work. Oh, and I got some smoke for somebody. I got to get them right because they're different. Dollar General. Dollar General is exploiting us worse than Target. And y'all happy you boycotted Target. I wasn't really okay with boycotting Target because there are black entrepreneurs that had things on the shelves at Target. There were African Americans who were in management and upper level management and regional managers of Target. So we screwed all that up because when black people boycott something, the first thing the company does, because they lose money when they boycott, first thing they do is they fire the black people. They go, we have black people that we're paying in upper management. Well, if black people are not shopping here, then we are no longer going to have black managers, black regional managers, black store managers because, revenge. But Dollar General, and they're doing it quietly, $40 billion. And they say that a Dollar General is within 75% of they're located within 75% of the entire black population in the country. $40 billion in profits have contributed nothing to black causes, nothing to historically black colleges and universities. Something like 2% of their staff or their management staff is black people, so we got to have smoke for them too. On a Juneteenth Day celebration in which I am not participating in the Juneteenth Day activities tomorrow. Let's talk all about it. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com. Truth Nation.
Truth Nation, have you ever wanted to meet the people behind Milwaukee's Realist Talk? Well, here's your chance. 101.7 The Truth presents the second annual Beyond the Mic Happy Hour Social Mixer Series. Every month this summer, we're hitting up a different venue in Milwaukee, so come kick back, enjoy incredible food, drinks, and meet your favorite 101.7 The Truth hosts, producers, and listeners in a fun, laid-back social environment. Keep listening to 101.7 The Truth to find out where we'll be for the next Beyond the Mic.
FamilyFest.com and sign up today. today.
Why did Old National Bank decide to create this program?
You know, it was something that was near and dear to the heart of our chairman and CEO, Jim Bryant. Jim wanted us to do more in the African-American communities, more with minority-owned businesses. So he approached Roland Shelton, who was my boss in Evansville, Indiana, and said, Roland, we need to do more. We need to create a program that's going to allow individuals, minority-owned businesses, women-owned businesses to access capital a lot better than traditionally we've been doing. And so we created the Empowerment Loan Program 2 years ago.
And for those that are now leaning more into this conversation, what's the best way to get in contact with you as part of their interest in the Empowerment Loan Program?
I'm going to give you my cell phone number to the listeners. It's 414-687-7393. And if that doesn't work, feel free to reach me at my email, tracy.meeks@oldnational.com.
Tracy Meeks, Senior Vice President, Community Lending Market Executive from Old National Bank.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Freedom or death, ye shall all be moved. Vanglorious. This is protected by the red, the black, and the green with the key city. Abracadabra.
Welcome back to the program. So there is I don't know what to call it. Let me see. What do they call it? Let me see what they call it. Get a taste of Juneteenth at Summerfest. Milwaukee, often called the City of Festivals, is adding a new food-focused event to its summer lineup with the taste of Juneteenth at Summerfest. So this is the first year in which I'm going to call it America's true Independence Day is commemorated June 19th. Do we need a quick history refresher? Maybe we do, because there's probably a bunch of Eric Hovdes out there that are listening to my show that don't know a damn thing about Juneteenth Day. The Emancipation Proclamation was signed by Abraham Lincoln to go into effect on January 1, 1863. And it declared all people held in bondage were free. Not because it was the right thing to do, not because it was the moral thing to do, not because it was the economically sound thing to do, even though it is the economically sound thing to do, because here's what we have come to find out. Paying people a wage based on their skill set and their expertise is much more efficient for production than owning a human being and forcing them to work. So slavery actually had negative consequences on production, but the Emancipation Proclamation was signed by Abraham Lincoln to go into effect January 1st, New Year's Day, 1863, because either, I don't know, racism, white supremacy, or communication happened to be slow. The last person held in bondage did not know that they were free until June 19th, 1865, when the Union Army liberated Galveston, Texas. Could you imagine? You've been free for 2.5 years, and a bunch of white dudes on horses come and be like, hey, blacks. And the plantation owner either knew that his slaves were free and didn't tell him, or maybe he didn't know either. It might have been news to everybody. So the Union Army, I used to know the guy's name, like the dude, the leader of whatever that army group was, that army troop was that went into Galveston, Texas, was like, hey, everybody gather around. And he was like, yes, sir? Y'all are free. Huh? No, I'm here with an order from Abraham Lincoln. You guys have been free since January 1st. And I bet all the slaves was like, well, what, do we kill master now? Or like, what do we do? I'm hungry. Should we see if we can get some Burger King? Like, what? Imagine their first thought. Free? You mean I can read now? Well, no, not yet. But here's what's crazy. The Emancipation Proclamation, to give you a perspective on the power of an executive order, the Emancipation Proclamation wasn't even a law. It was an executive order. Think about that. An executive order had the power to free people. It wasn't even a law. Trump has signed like 200 executive orders. And I put this on y'all. I didn't put it on myself because, too much work. We need to read every single one of Donald Trump's executive orders, because if Abraham Lincoln signed an executive order to free us, what if Trump signed one to put us back in slavery? But it wouldn't be that easy, because you'd have to buy us. Gordon Granger, There you go. Thank you, Xavier. Gordon Granger, he's like, hey, everybody. And some of the black people are like, uh-oh, here come another massa. He's like, no. You guys can, you can leave. But where do we go, though? Like, we went back to the slave quarters to gather our belongings. Like, we're getting out of here. Like, there was no hotels. There was no Airbnbs for us. So that's the history of Juneteenth Day. What we come to find out, and there was always a fear, and I could understand why the South was afraid. Because now you got a couple of problems. You got a bunch of crops in the ground and no labor to harvest. So that sucks. But I think some of the more brutal slave masters were like, oh, we knew this day would come. Where are we going to hide? If you had 500 slaves on your plantation, 25 overseers, and a family of 10 people, mother, father, because they had a bunch of kids back then, you're way outnumbered. Now, the overseers and the plantation owner, the mister of the house, probably had guns. But slaves had farming equipment. They had hoes and pitchforks. You know what I'm saying? But that didn't happen. What happened was when we were freed, we just wanted to go find our family members. That's what we did. But they were very afraid. And so they passed these things called the Black Codes. You know what Black Codes were? Basically loitering ordinances where if you didn't have anywhere to go, if you're just milling around on the street, because think about it, we didn't have anywhere to go. There was no party for us or, hey, former slaves, we built you some houses to live in. Here's your neighborhood. Here's your community. There was none of that. For a little while, they had the Freedmen's Bureau, but I think the next president, Andrew Jackson Johnson, somebody got rid of the Freedmen's Bureau because there was actually federal resources set aside. That was where our 40 acres and a mule was supposed to come from. I think with interest and with a much more modern interpretation of 40 acres and a mule, now it's it would be a condo overlooking the river and a Bentley, which I would take, but it wouldn't rid the world of racism. It would just be a bunch of black people living in condos, smoking a tremendous amount of marijuana, and driving Bentleys that would likely get stolen by Kia boys. So, whatever. So that's the history of Juneteenth Day, and I can go into the Black Codes and the vagrancy laws, because if you were black and didn't have anywhere to go, they would arrest you. And then what would happen is your plantation owner would rent you from the jail. So what this basically is, it's the beginning of prison labor, sanctioned prison labor. So you're freed on June 19th. All the crops are in the ground. You need the same amount of labor to get the crops out of the ground that you had as slaves to put the crops in the ground. So black folks had nowhere to go. We didn't have any transportation. There was no cars yet. We didn't have any horses. I bet we stole a bunch of horses. I would have stolen a horse. Would have headed north on my horse. And so if you were black and you were just milling around, they would arrest you. You go to the jail, and then the plantation owner would then pay the jail to rent you to do work on that farm, and you didn't have a choice. So slavery really didn't end. It just transformed into the criminal justice system. But here is why the system of Black Codes was even more brutal than the institution of slavery. And I know a lot of people hear that and they're shocked to hear that the institution of the Black Codes and the vagrancy laws was more evil and more brutal than slavery. Because if the master no longer owns you, if the plantation owner did not actually have physical custody of your body like they did during the institution of slavery, they had no incentive to keep you alive. So if they went to auction and bought you, and I think slaves were expensive, probably, I would have been very expensive. Because I got good teeth and I got broad shoulders, got a strong back. I would have been probably, I'd go for a good $1,500. Hell, I might not even go for $1,500 now. So if you purchased a human being for $1,500, you have an incentive to keep them alive, to give them rest and water and food. But if I'm renting you for $8 a day, I have no interest in keeping you alive. I'm going to literally work you to death, and when you die, I'm just going to go back to the jailhouse and get another one. So the institution of the black code was even more brutal. I just wish that this stuff was taught in schools so I wouldn't have to waste my time as a 50-year-old man providing this information to people who probably never heard of it before. However, I digress. That's a lot of money. Especially if you had a plantation of several hundred people. And imagine overnight, Abraham Lincoln just let $18 million of your people just roam free. I see why they killed Abraham Lincoln. I don't agree with it. It was the wrong thing to do. And when they killed Abraham Lincoln, so he still had a job to do and they didn't let him do it. We should have extinguished the Confederacy. They should have been extinguished like the Nazis were extinguished, because you can't let the Confederacy still live. You can't let them still fly a flag. You can't let the Confederates still say, oh, I can be a Confederate under freedom of speech. No, you're a traitor. You committed treason. You tried to separate from your own country. You can't stay here anymore. You got to die. That's what happens in war. You lost the war. Now, the faction of you that wanted to create your own slave-holding country with your own president, Jefferson Davis, all of you got to get hung. Sometimes when I'm sad, I watch that scene in Inglourious Bastards where they kill all the Nazis in the movie theater by setting them on fire. It perks me right up. There's so many documentaries. There's so many on what happened, like the Nuremberg trials. I was watching this one documentary, and there was a bunch of Nazis that just got caught. They were caught, and they were on. And the trial only lasted a day. It wasn't a very long trial. They were all found guilty. And so the Nazis, they were like, but we were just following orders. We didn't want to do all of these things. And it was like, shut up. We're going to kill you. You're found guilty. You did real bad stuff. And they show them going up to the gallows. And then some of the Nazis, when they're getting the nooses put around their neck, they were defiant. They were still loyal to Germany. Adolf Hitler was already dead because he offed himself. So then some of the Nazis were defiant. I'm not laughing because it's not funny, but, just desserts. Others, you see, they wet themselves. That's how scared they were to get home. And it was thousands of people. It's 100,000 people watching the Nazis get on. Some of them were defiant. Others were crying and they pee-peed on themselves. We had to do that to the Confederates. And I hope some of you get offended, because we should not live in a country where Confederates are still allowed to live and exist and fly a flag and still defy the United States, because that is a direct strike against us. Do you think that in Germany they just let Nazis just kick it and roam around and fly Nazi flags? Absolutely not. But we do it here in the United States of America. I said all that to say this. Our freedom and our independence needs to be taken very seriously, and I don't know if they're doing it. I said I was going to talk to you about this event, but now I got to take another break. It's called what's it called? A Taste of Juneteenth at Summerfest, where there's a little event where you're going to have a bunch of different food vendors. It's $100. It's $100 for a ticket. And the event is it's 2 hours long. So in me wanting Juneteenth Day to be elevated and taken more seriously and combined with the Summerfest grounds and/or Summerfest, absolutely, but they are commercializing it in a way where it's going to be unaffordable for most people. I'm going to take a break. When I come back, I'm also monitoring a fast evolving situation where Donald Trump is now mulling his military options in Iran. I have a feeling that by the time I come back from my small vacation on Monday, the United States will be in a Mideast war that will require American troops. So we're closely monitoring that situation as well. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Summer in Milwaukee means a couple of things: Brewers baseball and live music. Get the best of both when the Brewers take on the Rockies June 27th, featuring a post-game concert by Nelly. Then the first 25,000 fans at the game on June 28th get a Pat Murphy Manager of the Year bobblehead, courtesy of Toyota. Get ready for a weekend you'll be talking about all summer. Get your tickets at Brewers.com.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Here is Carrie Mahone with her truth.
You know, sometimes the mundane isn't a burden, it's the beauty of living. I came to this conclusion after recently watching the movie Subservience on Netflix. It's a crazy film, y'all. I would suggest you check it out. But it's a story that explores our relationship with technology and how it's programmed to take our burdens away. This movie really got me thinking about how much we're wired to avoid struggle. We create tools and shortcuts to make life easier, whether it's robots, apps, or even outsourcing everyday tasks. But in the process, we risk forgetting the value of the little things we go through every day. Sure, folding laundry or grocery shopping might feel like chores. I literally dread cleaning up. But isn't there something grounding about them? Something that reminds us we're human. Life isn't just about the highlights or the easy parts. It's about the messy, repetitive, and sometimes inconvenient stuff too. Think about it. Who would you be if you didn't have to face the small frustrations that test your patience, or the routines that push you to show up for yourself or the people around you? The mundane moments, the ones we rush to escape, are often the ones that shape us. If life was nothing but convenience, where's the growth? Where's the grit that teaches us resilience? And most importantly, where's the appreciation for the moments that do take our breath away? So maybe the next time you find yourself annoyed by the daily grind and are on the brink of crashing out, you pause, you breathe, and remind yourself that the beauty of life isn't just in the big moments, but in every little thing that makes them possible.
This has been Truth Takes on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Listen to Jammin' with Juice with Ben Jammin' and Carrie Mahone weekdays from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
By way of the Nile evermore, we have come. Speaking the tongue of the pharaohs descending from such, we have come. In love of the ancestor, the struggle continues. Loving heart, strong sun, firm fist. We are those.
We are evolutionists.
Our phone number is 833-212-1017, 833-212-1017. Let's talk to Marlon. You're on 1017 The Truth. How are you?
Good, and yourself?
Doing all right. What's on your mind?
Good. So, you said something that was kind of...
Can't hear you, brother. Your phone's cutting out on us.
I'm sorry. Let me see if I can switch real quick.
Yeah, you got to fix that now.
Is that better?
Oh, that's a lot better.
Okay. So you said, think about if you had a plantation with 500 slaves, basically 30 slave masters and overseers. And I see this dynamic even like today. So you probably say half of them are women. So you say you got 250 men. Some of those men are going to be like, let's kill everybody, let's do our thing. A lot of them are going to be like, no, we're not going to do nothing. And then others are going to be like, as long as it don't bother me, I'm okay. And I see that as a dynamic as even in our in our communities today. Same exact thing. You have people who want to fight against white supremacy or whatever situation. Then you have those who be like, well, it's not bothering me, I'm okay. And then you have those who say, nope, master is good to me, so I'm be okay. So I think that dynamic even flows from slavery even to now, and I see it even in our community now, and too many people are not trying to stand up for the things that's going to make our community better. You know what I mean? And even though you say, okay, 250 women, I'm sure there's women who's like Elizabeth Brown out there who'll be willing to fight too. You know what I mean? So it's just, do we have enough people that stand up for things in our community that we want to be more of a monolith in that perspective, even though in our thought process and our values and stuff like that, we're not. But can we be a monolith and getting the best things that we can for the black community? And now I say no, because we got too many different people who want too many different things.
You know what? That That makes sense, and I tend to agree because the problem is we love our individuality, and I think that there needs to be more of a community mindset because there's ways in which even successful black people are still quietly and covertly screwed over, which we can mitigate some of that if we all work together. But there's some black folks that love their individuality. They don't want to work with anybody. They don't want to work with anything. They don't want to be attached to any of those other systems. They believe that they are just purely an individual on their own, and they're not really connected to any kind of a community. So it's hard to move the needle when you have people that sometimes move contrary to the narrative, right? Like I always want to uphold blackness as something that it's honest, it's strong, it is decent, it is hardworking, and that is the image that I want us to promote because that means that we get taken seriously. That means we get pulled over by the police, we get taken seriously. When we walk into a job for an interview, we get taken seriously. But then you get a bunch of thoughts that go fight at the night market, and if you're going to thought it up, and I don't want to yell at you, Marlon, but I get mad. Wear a bra, at least, because I don't know if you saw the fight. But if somebody wants, ladies, and I know I shouldn't be giving advice. Thank you, Marlon. I need it. Thank you, Marlon, for your call. I don't need you to be on the phone for this part. If you know that somebody's looking for you because you had sex with another woman's dad, because apparently that's what the fight was about at the night market. Somebody humped somebody's daddy. Whew. Means I need to be careful. You know what I mean? I don't want to start any fights my damn self, but whatever. If you know that there's somebody looking for you, because they probably threaten you on social media like, yeah, B word, if I see you, it's on site. Ladies, if you ever get such a message and you like to go out to social events, if you have somebody that's mad at you and they say, yeah, B word, and a couple of other creative explicatives, when I see you, it's on site. For those of you who are more suburban in your leanings, on site means I'm going to kick your ass where I see you. Or I'm going to leave you where I find you. That's what on site means. So, ladies, if you get that message, wear a bra. Save yourself the embarrassment. Because it's always the woman who people are looking for, who gets her ass kicked, whose breasts pop out. It's embarrassing enough getting beat up in public because everybody's camera's on you. And then your B cups are flopping all over the place. Like, that's even worse. Fellas, imagine, I'm trying to think of how we can even relate to this. Fellas, imagine you're getting your ass kicked in public and all of a sudden your ding-ding pops out. And you're thinking to yourself, what could be worse? And everybody's recording. You know what I'm saying? You know how embarrassing that is? So, fellas, here's what I would say. If you get that message from another man saying, yeah, it's on site, don't wear sweatpants that can be pulled down easily. Make sure if you do wear a drawstring, have your drawstring tied very tight, and wear like a cup. You know what I mean? Wear like something that can protect your ding-ding from coming out, because getting your ass kicked is embarrassing enough, but then having your kibbles and bits also exposed, it's just a horrible, horrible thing. You know, there's always been a dynamic in our community, and I think that we battle with the individuality of black people, and there's a lot of people in our community that they just rebel because they've never felt connected to anything. They've never felt connected to community, and then all of a sudden the Hotep people come around. Y'all know the Hoteps. If I'm not defining that, you go look up who the Hotep black people are. And they say, oh, no, we all got to work together. And there's a whole cohort of youth that are so detached. They rebel against the idea of community because they've never felt it. You know, and so I think it kind of holds all of us back. And then there's social media where you can be your own individual, not tied to anything or anyone. You can be your own brand. And that's great, because maybe that was something that we longed for many years ago, to not be looked at as just a lowly second-class citizen black person, but just to be an individual. And now you can absolutely be an individual, but it's hard to be both an individual and a member of a larger community, where you have to compromise some of your individual personal thoughts and feelings for the greater good of the larger community. That is really, really tough. Or just put your kids in team sports, because you may have your individual ambitions as someone that plays a team sport, but you have to sometimes sacrifice your individual ambitions for the betterment of the team so you can get a team victory. Like you're a running back and you want to score all the yards and all the touchdowns because you want to have the best stats ever. Sometimes you don't get the ball. Sometimes you just got to block. You know what I mean? And I think we need more of that in our community. Everybody can't always run with the ball. Everybody can't always be the star. Sometimes we need people to run interference and to block and to play a little defense, you see. But our community has always been kind of stratified in that regard. I still didn't even talk about this event, and I got to take another break. These breaks are oppressive. Don't come looking for me at Juneteenth tomorrow at the 1017 The Truth area. If I'm there, I might be wearing a trench coat and some sunglasses and a disguise because I'm off tomorrow and I'm off Friday. And I'm never working another black holiday ever again. Ever. I've worked too many Juneteenth days. I've been in too many parades. You got to get there at 7 o'clock in the morning. The parade don't start till 10 o'clock. And then when the parade is done, you got to walk from the end of the parade. God knows wherever that's going to be. And I got to walk from there to the 1017 The Truth broadcast tent, then talk, blah, 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 blah. And then I'm done and I'm tired. And I got to find out where my car is. And hoping it didn't get keyed. So it's just a lot. And I don't want to work on a black holiday. I'm not working on any more MLK days. I can't do it. Don't they have a saying for it now? What are we, black and tired? Black tired? What's the
black fatigue?
Black fatigue. That's what it is. You're hearing my black fatigue. And at the same time, I don't know if people are taking us serious anymore. So I'm going to take my fatigued black ass. And you know what I'm going to do tomorrow? I don't know, but I ain't going to be here. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 FM. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Summerfest is back, and the award-winning 1017 The Truth has got you covered. With free tickets, Truth Nation, to the world's largest outdoor festival. Tune into The Truth all week and listen for your cue to call and a chance to win an 18-pack of tickets to Summerfest.
Benjamin, I know you lying.
No, Nutty Juice, you heard that right. It's an 18-pack of tickets so your friends and family can enjoy Summerfest on us. So stay tapped into The Truth so you do not miss your chance to enjoy the biggest party on the lakefront. Summerfest is presented by our founding partner, American Family Insurance.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
At Hope Christian Schools, they're transforming lives through the power of Christ-centered education. Their nurturing environment combines academic excellence with strong Christian values. They offer free transportation and free tuition options to help set children up for success. Through faith, dedication, and unconditional love, they empower their scholars to discover their God-given potential and pursue their greater purpose. Don't wait. Start your child's journey at hopeschools.org.
This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
So Black women's leadership needs to be prioritized. That means a whole lot of things, but it includes a message for white women, which would be, it'll be wise for you to take our lead. We've already demonstrated everything there is to the world about who we are. We shouldn't have to keep doing that over and over again. The reality is that there are times when we got to muster up the energy to do some things we don't want to do, but I don't want that to be commonplace for me, and I certainly don't want it to be commonplace for other Black women. There's often this message that we need to stay strong because there are people depending on it. No, we need ourselves.
Yeah, you can't, what do they say? You can't pour from an empty cup?
Yes. And I even am hearing people say a lot more, you shouldn't pour from your cup at all until it overflows. And it's the overflow that you give. You keep the full cup for yourself.
This has been your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute. This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome back. Milwaukee, often called the city of festivals, is adding a new food-focused event to its summer lineup with a taste of Juneteenth at Summerfest. The event will take place on Saturday, June 21st at Henry Meyer Festival Park, highlighting West African cuisine, barbecue, sweets from local chefs throughout the Milwaukee area. So far, this sounds good. Vendors include Atwood Highway Barbecue Company, Dear Florence Sweets, Glad's Kitchen, a restaurant called It's Smackin', Jericho's Barbecue, Johnny's Kitchen Creations, Peachy's Plates, Pop's Barbecue, Memphis Style, Kay's Finger Food Catering, and Uger Grill. In addition to food samples, guests can expect live entertainment from a local DJ. That sounds very nice. Tickets are $100. Help me understand. Is this okay with you guys? Are you okay with we combine Juneteenth Day with Summerfest and they're doing a little food festival to showcase, I'm assuming, all black-owned food vendors, Atwood Barbecue Company, Dear Florence Sweets, Glad's Kitchen, and Smackin' Jericho's Barbecue. $100. But wait, a DJ is going to be there, and it gets you free admission to Summerfest. Do you know how much food I'm going to consume for $100? And it says food samples. Am I just not? Is that how much stuff costs nowadays? Is that what it is? Or are they trying to overwhelmingly commercially capitalize off of the combination of Juneteenth Day and Summerfest by charging $100? Because for $100, so let's say I went. Let's just say I did. And I went to Atwood Highway Barbecue, even though I think I've had their barbecue before. Glad's Kitchen. Let's say I went to Glad's Kitchen. And Glad's Kitchen is one of the vendors that's going to be at this new event, Taste of Juneteenth at Summerfest. And they had a little food samples out. Okay? Because I paid $100 now. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take all of them. I'm going to get full. Sir, you only can have one small toothpick full of barbecue chicken. I beg to differ. I paid $100. In fact, go make me another chicken for dessert. I'll eat another, and then I would go over to Peachy's Plates. Peachy wouldn't have no more plates left. For $100, am I getting this wrong? Let me read further down. In addition to food samples, guests can expect live entertainment from a local DJ. Tickets are priced at $100 and include same-day admission to Summerfest. Proceeds will directly support the participating vendors. So I'm paying $100, and then there's food from like 10 different. $100? I would rather you just have the vendors there, and then they charge me what their food costs, right? Because then if I want to frequent any of these vendors outside of this event, outside of Summerfest, I know how much a barbecue chicken plate costs, or how much a fried pie costs, or how much some banana pudding costs.
You don't get a whole meal?
I would.
That's what I would expect for $100.
All for $100 is, I can buy a week's worth of groceries, or I can go to some of my favorite restaurants in the city, like fine dining restaurants. I can eat very well, even at some of the most expensive restaurants in the city. As a one person, as a single person, hell, I can eat good at Moe's. I get that pesto crusted salmon at Moe's, and an appetizer, I get the calamari. And it comes with the bread and the butter and a salad. That's like $70, and that's top of the line food prepared by a chef with a chef's hat on, and that's $70 with tip. For $100, do you have any conceivable idea how much barbecue I'm gonna want? Another one of the vendors that's going to be at a Taste of Juneteenth at Summerfest is Kay's Finger Food. I will fill my pockets with your finger food, Kay. They wouldn't even invite me back to next year, probably. But $100 for that? Or is it okay to inflate the price because that $100 is the vendors are not. I don't think they're going to get all that money because they probably have to pay to even have. Otherwise, why would it be these vendors? They probably paid something to be there. But I just think that ticket price is insane. If you want people to really experience African-American owned restaurants in this city, you're putting up a barrier, a price barrier that most people won't be able to climb. Because going to a festival is already expensive enough. Does anybody know how much a beer costs at Summerfest? They're expensive. One of the reasons why I don't go to Brewer games. I went to a Brewer game in 2022, maybe. That summer, I got 2 Bacardi and Cokes, and it was like $35 for 2 drinks. So stuff is too expensive. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be back for hour 2.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Truth Nation, please join us for the 54th annual Juneteenth celebration in Milwaukee on Thursday, June 19th. The Truth will be broadcasting live from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., so don't miss out on your chance to celebrate with us with our live Juneteenth broadcast presented by Hope Christian Schools and Carroll University. 101.7 The Truth's celebration of Juneteenth is also brought to you by American Family Insurance, Associated Bank, Gruber Law Offices, Molson Coors, and Educators Credit Union.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on June 24th.
Curio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they take on the Pittsburgh Pirates.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third down.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Tune in June 24th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Carrie, where's Tori Lowe and Dr. Ken at? I'm trying to knock these commercials out.
How am I supposed to know, Sherwin?
Well, I'm about to do their parts because my impressions are on point anyway. This is Dr. Ken Harris from Truth in the Afternoon, and I want you to download the Truth app in the Google Play Store and Apple Store so you can never miss my show or any of the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Really, Kyle?
Sherwin, you are crazy.
Sherwin, your impression of me is horrible. Move. Give me my mic. I guess I'll just repeat what Sherwin said. Go to the Google Play Store or Apple Store to download the 101.7 The Truth app today so you can take the home of Milwaukee Black Talk with you wherever you are.
Can't listen live? Download the new 101.7 The Truth app on your smartphone today to catch up on all your favorite shows. Search 101.7 The Truth on your Google Play Store or Apple App Store so you don't miss out on any of the action.
Dear employer,
my name is Phil Martin.
My name is Michael Raskovich.
Ronaldo Bird.
Zach Deiser. I am writing to express my excitement at the opportunity to join your team.
As someone on the spectrum, I possess a unique set of skills
that sets me apart from other candidates.
My detail-oriented nature allows me to communicate complex ideas,
to break down data,
to have no fear in meeting new people.
I may communicate in ways that are different from what you are used to.
Structure, routine,
and clear expectation.
Help me do my best work.
My autism allows me to have a perspective that needs to be seen and heard.
It allows me to make the world safer and improve systems in ways others can't.
It allows me to bring people's inner worlds to life with my artwork.
My autism
will bring your team important insights.
Thank you for your consideration.
An autistic inclusive workplace is good for business. It's time to make a change. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/win.
We are the home of Milwaukee Black Talk. 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Hour 2 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. I know somebody didn't just say that the $100 taste of Juneteenth at Summerfest event is only an hour and 45 minutes. I know you lying to me. Now, but hold on, no. But you do get free admission in the Summerfest. But Summerfest should be free to get into anyway, because every single day they have a new thing where you can like bring canned food items, or you can bring like the label to like a certain ice cream brand, like a local ice cream brand. If you bring a label top, you can get in for free. Curly, is that right? It's only, I didn't finish reading the article because I just got so frustrated. I didn't want to keep reading it. An hour and 45 minutes. So I would have to, if I went, if somebody sponsored my $100 ticket, I'm not even going to socialize. I'm going to eat for an hour and 45 minutes. I'm going to eat everything I possibly can. That's really expensive. LT says that's to keep the nuggets out. Nugget as in a synonym for the N-word. Do Nuggets go to Summerfest? I'm trying to think when was the last time they do. Yeah, I guess if the Nuggets can get in for free. See, this is why we can't have a sense of community. We calling each other Nuggets. But we know who we're talking about. When they booked Wiz Khalifa at Summerfest in 2010. I think they booked him that winter. I don't know what song he had that came out. So they booked Wiz Khalifa at a free stage. Y'all remember this? At a free stage at Summerfest. This is 15 years ago. I'll never forget this. I didn't go that night. So I went to Summerfest that year. That was back when they still did the 11 continuous days. So I went to Summerfest several times. Like I used to go to Summerfest all the time. And maybe it was a youth thing, but also there was a place where Brown Deer High School alumni, we had territory. There's a place where if you want to see people you ain't seen in a long time, you also could avoid that area. But if you went to Brown Deer, like from like 1982 through like the late 90s or early 2000s, and you want to just kind of kick it with some of your old classmates, we had a designated area at the Miller Jazz Oasis, and I used to go and hang out there. So when I was in my 20s and my early 30s, I used to go to Summerfest all the time. So the night that Wiz Khalifa was supposed to, well, he did perform at Summerfest on a free stage where they were expecting 10,000 people, was actually 100,000 people. Do you guys remember that? And they had all sorts of fights and all sorts of violence and mayhem that was going on because Wiz Khalifa blew up from February when they booked him till June, end of June, early July when he actually performed. And it was an absolute melee. And then you got to have the conversation, don't you? Whenever you have a social event in Milwaukee, a big public event, you got to figure out how is security going to be. We don't want to racially profile. We don't want to keep the black people out. We don't want to keep the black kids out, but we got to do something. But yeah, it was pretty significant. And so since then, there was a period of time where they didn't really have a lot of black acts. You guys remember when Summerfest took like this downward spiral where the black acts that they would book would be stuff that like my parents would listen to. They weren't really doing a lot of hip hop. Then hip hop made a little bit of a resurgence at Summerfest. I don't know where the hell it is now, though. Let's talk to Lisa. You're on 101.7 True. Turn your radio down, Lisa.
Good morning, Sherwin. How are you?
I'm doing well, Lisa. How are you?
I'm all right. Well, Sherwin, I checked into Afrofest. They said they owe $200,000 in debt on that. And Summerfest, it's just not Summerfest anymore. I'm sorry. I wouldn't go for nothing in the world. I'm not going to pay to walk around. That just doesn't make sense. There's no ride, and there's not even entertainment. My God. And as for Juneteenth, they're trying to be like North Carolina, but it's not. It's like where they have black restaurants, new and upcoming, and they do charge $100, but it's about 10 or 15 vendors, and you try a plate of every vendor, so you're going to get your $100 worth. I think Chicago does it also. And why can't we have a taste of Milwaukee like there's a taste of Chicago? I'm going to get on the committee because the committee is all white people. That's why you get that black statue down there. Like, I don't know what that is, but I'm going to go check it out. 'Cause that's offensive. I don't know. That's not cool. Why you couldn't have? I don't care if you put Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. I don't care. Somebody of notoriety. Somebody in our history that will, stamp Milwaukee. Like the black lady that's named for her downtown. I forgot the name of it.
Vel Phillips?
That's the name of it. Yes,
she has a statue. I think she got a couple of statues, actually. I think she got one in Madison at the state capitol. I think she has one here, too. I see your point, so Lisa, and I'm going to talk about that statue. And what made me mad about the statue is that, so I didn't know anything about it. A white person texted me, he's like, oh, my God, Sherwin, you have to go check out the black statue at the Vel Phillips Plaza. That made me more angry. And the person who sculpted the black man, the 9-foot-tall sculpture, is from England. He ain't even, I mean, I guess he's black, but you're not real black if you're from England. If you talk like this, to me, you're not real black. Cool, blimey, governor. You know what I mean? So I'm going to talk about that in a little while, Lisa. But I hear your agony and feel your pain, but I got 2 other people on hold, and I know you'll talk forever. So I got to let you go because I got to take other phone calls.
Okay, have a good day.
She sounded disappointed. She sounds sad. Let's talk to Blake. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
I'm good, man. It's good to hear you doing your thing, Sherwin. And
been a while, Blake. How you been?
Man, blessed. I'm not angry anymore, so that's a good thing.
What? You're not? Well, what happened in your life?
Well, I got to see my kids.
Oh, that helps.
My son turned 13 on Father's Day, which is National I Clown Blake Day. So you can't beat that with a bat. And then my son, I got a freshman, I got a junior. They both A students. My 20-year-old son is doing good, staying in the streets. All my daughters are doing good. My 34-year-old is going to get married next year on my birthday.
Look at that.
She got twins in Phoenix. My 21-year-old is married with a husband and a baby, and my 25-year-old is doing her thing with my granddaughter. I went to the daddy-daughter dance with my granddaughter.
How many kids?
I got 6. I got 3 girls and 3 boys.
And how many grandkids?
4. And then, over the winter, my wife lost our daughter to a murder in Georgia, but I've been helping my wife heal through that. But we got a daycare opening in the name of our deceased daughter. It's called K's Little Angels. We LLC. We officially opened by the state. My catering service is doing well. My lawn service is doing well. My payment service is doing well.
Slow down, Blake. Save something for the rest of us.
Man, I'm detailing cars. I mean, if I could sit in the spot for 10 years and move 4.5 all day, you know what I mean? I ain't sold drugs in 20 years, man. I don't miss it.
All right, keep doing what you're doing. Don't sell 4.5s no more.
Right. No more. But the thing with the Summerfest, and I just won an 18-pack, so I'm gonna be down there every day. So I appreciate y'all. But what I was calling to say is they doing things the way they want to. If we did it, it would have to be a collective group that meant something to each other, that trust each other, because black people don't trust each other. And I'm tired of people calling in blaming black people for being nuggets or whatever y'all want to call them, because if y'all know, ignorance has no color. So that Wiz Khalifa concert, I was there. I was doing security. And they bottlenecked the Summerfest. And it was white kids. It wasn't black kids. It was under 1,000 black kids at his show. It was all white people. I've been on tour with him. I went on tour with him 2014 at the Rave, and then I did another show with him in Cleveland. He has 95% white people at his concert. So
you know what? You're right, because back then he hadn't really penetrated the black listener yet.
He wasn't in our circle yet. He didn't get in until he did We Them Boys with the black people. And it just, I can't just say white people, just people that think they're privileged and they own the street or they own the city. They're going to be down there and do what they want to do. And the collective group of civilized people that know better, if there are enough of us with heart, and excuse my French, balls, we wouldn't be in the position we're in now. Like I said, if I could pick my own job and pay my own self, everybody's going to be different. So I appreciate you. Y'all keep doing your thing.
Thank you.
God's good. God's good, man. And just moving to the south side now. 4 people got shot yesterday. It's nonsense to fight. It's nonsense for guns, even though they have them for necessities. But, man, this is real, dog. We all here on the breath, man. I just had to bury my best friend. I went to visit with. His name was James Tate. And he was 2 years younger than me, and he didn't do nothing. He didn't smoke. He didn't drink, and dude just passed away. We all here on the breath, man. Let's just take care of each other and be real, be 100.
Thank you, Blake. A pleasure to hear from you. Don't be a stranger. We'll talk to you soon.
What's up?
All right. Blake just gave us a whole novel. 3 boys, 3 girls, 4 grandkids. Daughter died. Somebody getting married. Got a lawn service. Got a catering service. Car detailing service. He don't sell 4.5s no more though, which is good.
4 kids in the Brady Bunch.
I think 4.5 might refer to cocaine. 4.5 grams or 4.5.
I'm not familiar. I know 3.5 is an eighth.
Well, yeah, it's an eighth of an ounce or an 8-ball. If you're into such things. All right, let's see what kind of a black lineup they have music wise on Juneteenth Day at Summerfest. Oh, this is a black lineup. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Is this all on one day? No, this has got to be the whole festival, right? They're over blacking. This is too much black even for me. Y'all want to hear the black? Eric Benet, the Isley Brothers. Now, I'm not even going to count like the Jazzmen. I don't know who they are. So the Isley Brothers are at 10:30, 10 o'clock. Eric Benet is at 7:30. Who's some more? Bow Wow. I guess he ain't Lil no more. He's at 7 o'clock. Mike Jones and Bow Wow going to be on at the same time on different stages. Mike Jones, who? 6:30. He's on. So you got Bow Wow, Mike Jones, the Isley Brothers, Eric Benet. Who else on here? Some more black. I thought I seen some more black. Genuine. Gonna be riding ponies. You're horny. Let's do it. Ride it. My pony. My saddle is blazing. Come on. Jump on it. That is a hell of a lineup. You know what, y'all? Should I pop out? I could go see. I see Mike Jones. Who? Mike Jones. Mike Jones. Fabulous. It's going to be there. Oh, yeah, they snapped on the black. They're like, oh, we're going to show you. Oh, you blacks want to have your freaking Juneteenth Day on the first freaking day of Summerfest? Watch this. That's more black acts that no other venue could get that many black acts the same day at the same time. Summerfest trying to show out on us because they're all sitting around. Who do you think we should get for the Juneteenth Day? Well, I like Eric Benet. Sure, book him. Well, what about the Isley Brothers? Get them too. Well, you got to have Genuine, and they would all start singing it together. Ride it, my pony. And they got Genuine, and then they got Bow Wow there too. Fabulous. Mike Jones, who? Wait a second. Do we have any Summerfest tickets? Did they give us any Summerfest tickets to us? Zach, did we get Summerfest tickets? Xavier, you get some?
I didn't get any.
I know damn well we ain't giving away, and I'm giving away an 18-pack today. Well, guess what? Whoever's going to win the 18-pack on my show today, you're getting 17 tickets. How do we not get any Summerfest tickets? Don't they usually give us Summerfest tickets?
When was the last time you checked your email?
What month is this? June? I don't know. Probably. I check it when somebody says what you just said. Oh, do I have Summerfest tickets? Or is there a way for me to get some in my email? Why are you looking at Xavier? He don't never even be here. He has a real job. So
yeah, I don't know. I miss a lot of emails though.
All right, well, stay tuned. We're giving away a 17-pack of Summerfest tickets at some point on my show. You were listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Come
Coming straight out of Milwaukee, it's time to turn the TV off and turn your speakers up so you can hear what the future leaders of the world have to say. Truth Nation, I'm proud to present The 8 Block, a fresh new youth-led radio show powered by City on the Hill and 101.7 The Truth. Hosted by me, your boy, Ben Jammin. Every other week, 8 Milwaukee teens will share stories and laughs that will speak truth to what matters most in their lives. Don't miss the premiere on June 21st at 9 a.m. That's June 21st at 9 a.m. Truth Nation, welcome to The 8 Block.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 101.7 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent. As an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axehousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe coaches are here to help.
My overall experience with Gruber Law Offices has been phenomenal.
The treatment was excellent.
They will be supportive of you. They will listen to you.
It was a great experience knowing that I had people to help me.
I know I could count on them to do what I needed to get done.
Experience with Gruber was great.
They gave me my life back.
It was amazing.
He gets results.
We know how to win. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Gruber Law Offices had my best interests at heart.
What fills your cup? Those things, big and small, that make each day rewarding. Here's what fills our cup at Educators Credit Union. When you walk in the lobby and see your favorite teller, cultivating financial literacy to build stronger communities. When we help you buy a home when you didn't think it was possible. The best part? Seeing you leave with a smile because we made a difference in your life. It fills our cup to see you succeed because we're more than a financial. We're people helping people. Educators Credit Union. Achieving more together. Insured by NCUA.
Need to look your best for a special occasion? You need
the $100 hookup.
This incredible deal includes a marvelous suit, shirt, and tie, all for $100. Only at Nick Cavani's, home of the
$100 hookup.
And that isn't limited to some standard stock suit. You'll be pleased by the top quality and variety of fashion offered at Nick Cavani's. No matter the occasion, maybe you're just ready for a fresh, new stylish look. Get hooked up today at Nick Cavani's in Mayfair Mall and at nickcavanis.com.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
God, I hope this is clean. I'm scared.
Just cut it off before he starts rapping.
Yeah, I gotta turn it down. That's Wiz Khalifa. Don't all riot now because we're playing Wiz Khalifa's. All right, I want to talk about this statue. It's a black man wearing a hoodie. It's a big black statue. It's 9 feet tall. It's supposed to represent something. I don't know, black people being seen in public, or it doesn't strike me as serious. The artist, his name is Thomas J. Price. He's British. He created the sculpture. It's called Within the Folds, Dialogue 1. The article says it's back downtown where it was installed last Wednesday at Vel R. Phillips Plaza, which opened up a year ago this month. In the meantime, let's talk to the town. You're on 101.7 The Truth.
How you doing, sir?
Doing good, sir.
I feel like that. All right. Like, they don't give us nothing, man. And the messed up part about it is in this city, and like you, I've been in this city for a long time. They feel like, okay, we gonna give you niggas this, and y'all gonna take it. Y'all gonna take it. And no matter if they're the most poorest of us,
if there are people in media, if the people that own a couple of clubs or whatnot like that, either they're going with it or they're being like, okay, I don't care, F it. And they got us they got us in this strange state in Milwaukee. Like that Afrofest, like man, it took away Afrofest. Now
hello? What is he still there? Turn him back up. Oh, is he still there?
Hello?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I'm here. Yeah, like this Summerfest, like this is some BS, man. I mean, like it's like they keep squeezing us and they keep squeezing us and they keep squeezing us, and then and us as people, we don't be having no answers to it. We just got complaints amongst each other, or like you said when you was reading to earlier when the caller said the N-words are going to be there or whatever like that. Just the way that we be looking at each other and we talk about each other. And it's so sad because we talk about each other like this in public. No other race does that.
Oh, yeah, they do. Absolutely, they do.
When?
I don't know. Here's where I think that you and I are going to differ, because sometimes it's us and our people, and a lot of times it's our youth that will ruin other people's good time for no other reason than wanting to ruin it. And if we are at a point where we don't call out public, because the behavior happens in public. If the behavior happens in private and we make it public, that's different. But if you have a whole bunch of people getting together, having a good time, every other culture is there, minding their own business, they're eating, they're shopping at the vendors, and we're the ones acting a fool, we have an obligation to call that out, because it will get worse if we just ignore it, because then it'll become normal, and then people will assume that behavior is normal with black folks. So we have to make it abundantly clear that all of us don't act like that. So I'm always going to call it out, and I know some folks like, oh, Sherwin, you shouldn't call it out. Yes, the hell I am, to make sure that decent, honest, hardworking, law-abiding black folks ain't judged by the worst of us. And also, I don't care what other cultures do. I don't care what white folks do. I don't care how white folks call one another out. And they do. You think that white folks don't hate each other? White folks been killing each other for 1,000 years. White folks been killing each other, hating on each other before they even knew who the hell we were. So, yes, they call one another out too. But I have an obligation to make sure that yes, have you ever seen a liberal, a Democrat, and a Trumper? They try to kill each other at every damn rally and every damn protest. Yes. A northerner and a southerner. They literally went to war with one another, killing each other. Cousins, relatives, killing each other. The whole Revolutionary War were white people literally killing their grandparents' generation. Yes, white people do it all the time too, but I ain't worried about them. They ain't my problem. I'm worried about us. And when we act a fool, we have to make it abundantly clear, because what's going to happen is, so we act a fool, and black folks, we don't say nothing about it because we don't want to call out the bad behavior. But then a black person goes in for a job interview where they need the job to feed their family, or they need the job as a condition of their probation, their parole, and they don't get it because they are going to be judged like the nonsense that they saw at the night market. I'm not ever going to be silent on stupid stuff that we do, because we don't need to do that. If you want to fight somebody, do it behind the school. Remember, that's where you fought somebody, or go to the playground. Don't do it in public. I'm different, apparently, because some of y'all have such a low standard for black behavior that it's normal to you. Black folks don't act like that. A certain subsection of black folks that I don't want to be associated with acts like that. And if I have an issue with it or a problem with it, I'll call it out. Why would I let that slide? If I let that slide, I'm excusing it. Put a bra on! Who's on the phone now? You got all sorts of people calling. Let's talk to Mohammed. Mohammed, you're on 101.7.
Hey.
Oh, hi.
Hey, how we doing, Sherwin?
Doing okay. How you doing?
I'm okay. Just wanted to weigh in on this statue situation.
Oh, yes, the statue. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen. I've seen a picture of it, and I first seen a picture of her from a comment from Tori, and it said the Kia Boys got a statue.
Yeah, Tori didn't like it. I saw that too.
I was like,
Tori didn't like it at all.
Yeah, but for us to say the Kia Boys got a statue, I mean, that's something that, let's say, a racist Trumper might have said. So I feel like we shouldn't say things like that. It's a form of art, but it was alarming to see that what fight that they put up for the bench named after the young woman who was killed. That was something important, something dear to the city here, and I didn't see a problem with naming a bench after her, and we couldn't get that, but then we get this statue here. And, yeah, I thought that was kind of confusing here because that came out of nowhere, but yet we couldn't get a bench named after
the bench,
young lady
Sade Robinson bench?
Yes.
That's because I think they wanted the taxpayers to pay for it. This statue is not paid for by the taxpayers. It's paid for by either a private individual or the Business Improvement District. When you want the taxpayers to pay for something, even if it is for a situation like Sade Robinson, the process is different. Because the bench might only cost like $1,000. We have $1,000 as black people if we wanted a bench. We shouldn't have asked the government to pay for that. But that's a little bit of a different story.
True.
Thank you, Muhammad. Appreciate your call.
Well, yep. Thank you.
Okay. I mean, I knew that call was over, and he was just, Let's talk to Al. Good morning, Al. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. I know we have a lot of issues going on, but let's be honest. When it comes to bad parenting, it's some people that's using lead water for the Kia Boys. You know, it's the lead water that had them, jumping up under a steering wheel that they knew that wasn't theirs when they was taking that kid using that kid to take their mama to get taking that kid to take their mama to get them groceries from Sam Clubs, Costco, Fast and Fiddly and Woodman's, but that's all on lead water. Another reason is government took the man out the household. Took him out the household. Oh, she's too independent. And the damn light still got cut off. We got a lot of excuses versus getting down to the foundation. Another reason why, we as black people don't get nothing, we don't vote. We don't call people out on their stuff. And we make a lot of excuses for grown people, ninja, sugar, honey, iced tea. But we'll sit there and say, well, in them other communities, they getting what they want. Your black ass ain't in there in them communities. We make excuses for picking up paper. It's a whole lot of things we can do ourselves if we just put effort. Now, I will say this. When it comes to black women, you should not be fighting one another. You should be fighting to protect one another. Just like when that white man jumped on that black woman, all y'all should have been coming after him. Like a wild jaguar, one going for the eyes, because you go for the eyes, he can't see. You hit him in the temple, he can't think. If you hit him in the side of the neck, he will shoot blood like he had an ejaculation. And if you take out the kneecaps, he cannot stand. But y'all can't fight each other. If you're going to fight, you fight to protect one another, which means somebody should have a screwdriver, a butcher knife, a set of jumper cables soaked in olive oil, and a meat cleaver that's soaked in water for 3 weeks. Because you hit anybody with a meat cleaver, that's rusty. That's the delivery of gangrene, and that's the anointed touch. Come on. Another thing, when y'all talked about with things in society. Well, first of all, you got some of them kind of blacks who feel they should be a slave. You got them other blacks who feel white people should be in power. And them kind of blacks, they live in them low numbers from 2 to 45 because they don't got enough money to get on the other side of 50 of, all right? So for those, we cannot be helped. And for those who want to shoot and kill each other, let them kill each other. You can't save nobody who don't want to save themselves. And you know what's going to happen, Mr. Hughes. They're going to wait till they beat down, woe out, find Christ, and then talk about how they turn their life around. But see, the reason why they find Christ is because God can't talk back. God can't call you a bastard, a no-good ninja, a sorry sack of a used condom that should have been flushed down the toilet, but it kept be sitting on top of the water because you had a bad septic tank. See, God won't say that. God can't talk back. So, for them kind of people, we can't help them. But what we can do is we can apply that motivation, determination, and dedication to uplift themselves and stand on your own standards. But we don't ever do that. We'll just use lead laterals. Well, the water is bad, so, he dragged her out the house in her bras and panties because, he didn't have a filter on the faucet. Well, the lights got cut off because she was too masculine. And, she's an independent woman, but when he moved in, he still peed on the floor and the bill still got late. The car still got repossessed and he still got the woman around the corner pregnant and he ain't paying child support on them. Or the other one said, well, I'm not down with with two men and two women, but hell, them ones complaining can't get neither one because their mattress is always empty and they ain't getting no choices or no offers. So we got to pick and choose what we want to do and make sure we get that grout and that water in our ankles out and get to that podium and vote. And then maybe you can say something because, the more you talking, the more you scream, you might get a sore throat. And if it hits you in the back of the mouth, you ain't talking for 7 days because that lead lateral is tainted. Have a great day, everybody.
Thanks. I just got an idea for a restaurant. Let's call it Ninja Nuggets. No? I'd eat there. Service is going to be terrible. Welcome to Ninja Nuggets. Hi, hurry up. I'm sorry. Can I get a Ninja Nugget platter? We don't got no Ninja Nugget platters. We ran out. Okay. Well, what do you have? Coca-Cola, but we ain't got no ice. Okay. I'm thinking of Ninja Nuggets, which is, look, Ninja Nuggets is people that couldn't get hired at Popeyes. Popeyes like, no way, we're not hiring you. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Summer in Milwaukee is nonstop. Festivals, live music, and fresh city vibes fill the season you already know. From world-famous cultural celebrations to hidden gem street fairs, every neighborhood is a stage, alive with handcrafted traditions, homegrown talent, and world-class entertainment. Music, flavor, culture, whenever you visit, the Cream City is ready to celebrate. This summer, don't just visit. Make sure you experience Milwaukee, the city of festivals.
Protect your dream home with American Family Insurance, and you can weather any storm. You'll also save up to 25% by bundling home, auto, and life. American Family Insurance. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com. Products are not available in every state. Discounts may not apply to all coverages on an auto or home policy. Discounts do not apply to life insurance policies. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company assigned its operating companies, American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin. What's poppin', Truth Nation? It's your girl Noni Juice with Tamara Castle from Associated Bank, and this is Making Your Money Work. I am so glad to be joined by Tamara Castle, AVP CRA Mortgage Loan Officer at Associated Bank. Today we will be talking more about first-time home buyers and giving them some tips and some help. So the very first question I want to ask you is, I want to buy a home, right?
Yes.
Who do I contact first?
So you'll contact me through the website, so Associated Bank /TCastle. And of course, you could always give me a call, 262-888-3135. Text, leave a voicemail. We'll get you guys going.
All right, so that's step one.
Yes.
Now, this might not be step two, but it's definitely a good question that I have. Does Associated Bank have any assistance for first-time home buyers?
Yes, we do. So Associated Bank has different angles on assisting first-time buyers. The first one is we have a gift. So it's not a grant. So it's literally coming from our president to give first-time home buyers assistance with the down payment and closing costs. That's $3,000. So we can use that for, obviously, the down payment and closing costs. You can use it to buy down the rate. And pretty much every customer I have uses those funds for their first time. Because, again, sometimes it's hard to save. It's something that people use as a barrier. So we came up with how can we assist customers. We really can't assist with credit per se, but we can assist with funds. And we don't want funds to stop someone from buying their first house. So we also have another grant called Down Payment Plus. That's $8,000. That can be also layered on top of our $3,000. So a lot of customers get those funds too. We do partner with Housing Resources, which has more funds. So they take care of the home buying education for us, and then we do the mortgage loan, and we connect all those grants together.
This has been Making Your Money Work, brought to you by Associated Bank. This has been Making Your Money Work, brought to you by Associated Bank.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
That wasn't supposed to be the end of that song, but that's fine. All right, let me read about this statue, the big Kia Boy statue. And no, it's not a Kia Boy. So here we go. Within the Folds, Dialogue 1 is the name of the statue. It's a 9-foot bronze sculpture by British artist Thomas J. Price, part of his larger series of monumental bronze figures that often depict black individuals in casual clothing, challenging traditional representations of power and status in a public sculpture. The sculpture is currently installed in Bell R. Phillips Plaza in Milwaukee as part of Sculpture Milwaukee, an outdoor exhibition that transforms the city's cultural landscape. So as an African-American man that often has issue with how we are depicted, whether it be the media, the news, movies, television, whatever. I don't know if this statue depicts us in a serious light. I don't think it does. I think it is one of those things where, and I'm going to get political here, where a white liberal that feels bad for black people, but only to an extent, and will only help and or become an ally of or sacrifice for the black people that they like, that they know, not on behalf of the culture of black people, not on behalf of the race and the disparate treatment, but they'll act on behalf of their black friends. I think they think this does the work for them because they can say, look, Sherwin, there's a statue of a black man holding space in Bell R. Phillips Plaza, and he's wearing a hoodie, and he's wearing Air Force Ones. Like, this is great. This is a monument. A monument to what? It's not even a real person. It's not somebody that is accomplished. It's not like we're paying homage to a historical figure that we don't know about. It's just a dude, and I don't know who this artist is. Thomas J. Price, who's a British artist. Is he even black? I hope so. And if he is black, I don't know if his intersection and his interaction with blackness and white supremacy here in Wisconsin and in Milwaukee is the same as where he is from in England. Probably from Manchester somewhere. He's probably from Liverpool, because that's how the English people in Liverpool talk. Oh, absolutely. They're going to have the fish and chips, are you? And the French fries, they're not chips. And in England, they call potato chips crisps, but French fries are chips. The 9-foot bronze sculpture is part of a series of large-scale works that use the material and scale of traditional monuments but depict contemporary figures in everyday attire. The figure within the Folds, Dialogue 1, that's what it's called, wears a hoodie and sweatpants, a deliberate choice by Price, to contrast with the typical triumphal poses of public monuments. So they put this black man bronze statue made by this dude from England, Thomas Price, wearing a hoodie, sweatpants, and some Air Force Ones. I'm offended by it. I'm offended. First of all, I didn't know that the damn thing was there. Apparently, it was at the U.S. Bank building some years ago. I guess it's been in the city for a bunch of years. I never paid attention to it because I'm not really crazy about public art because art is a lot of times real subjective. But I guess they moved it to the Bell Phillips Plaza. And the thing that I don't like about it is that one of those well-meaning white people sent me the article. Because I guess it just went up the day of the night market, last Wednesday. That was the day where it was officially moved and shined up and polished or whatever. And this white person's like, oh my God, Sherwin, you have to go and see the black statue man at Bell Phillips Plaza. Because they knew that I was going to be at the night market. They're like, oh, you should go and see this. And I sat with that for a while. I never responded to the person because I think I would have been rude in my reply because they probably thought that I would be excited about a no-name black sculpture essentially standing there in a parking lot that represents nothing. A black man wearing a sweatsuit and some Air Force Ones means what to me? Does what for home ownership? Does what for investing in education? Does what for increasing wages in the black community? Does what for the value of our homes? What does that do besides make a handful of white people say, look, you have art in a parking lot. We're done helping you. You have a statue. The statue is also mobile, meaning it won't even be there very long. I say that because there are so many historical figures that I don't even know about. I don't know about. There's so many black folks that did so much stuff. And I don't even know about it, but you just going and then let me not beat up on the artist. Because he probably thought he was doing a good thing. He's all British. He's like, oh, yes. Oh, yes, I make his Air Force Ones, extra Air Force One-y. Xavier, was you going to say something to me?
The artist is black.
All right, the artist is black. But he's British. So that's like an asterisk black. That's not the same. It ain't. What else is it here? Price's work critiques the historical narratives and power structures embedded in public art, particularly those that exclude or misrepresent black experiences. I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to understand what this does. I just see it as a waste of space because at the end of the day, how does that help? How does that help policy? Is this going to get somebody elected, this statue? Is it going to change the perception of black people? Are white ladies going to stop clutching their purses when they get on the elevator with me? And white ladies, listen, you don't have to clutch your purse when you get on the elevator with me. I don't want anything. Maybe you have some chewing gum or maybe you have games on your phone. That's the only reason why I would go in your purse. Excuse me, white lady, you got games on your phone? Let's talk. I'm scared to take this phone call. Why not take a break? Why don't we do that? And I'll take the phone call on the other side. Y'all chatty today. Y'all calling today. Muhammad called today. Blake called today. The town called today. Y'all leave Bob alone. Apparently, Bob said he's going to be at the first Beyond the Mic. Our Beyond the Mic is going to be on July 11th at Mr. B's, 8617 West Brown Deer Road. Bob said he's bringing both his saxophone and his keyboard. Here's the problem. Bob didn't clear that with me. Bob cleared that with somebody else. So mark your calendars. July 11th. It's a Friday from 5 until 7. We're going to be at Mr. B's. We're going to have us some chicken wings. We're going to have us some drinks. We're going to kick it. We're going to turn up. We might turn down. I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to have a great time. We're going to get the Peanut Gallery together. We're going to get all the people and the hosts and the producers, and we're going to kick it. We're going to celebrate the community that has been built around us here at 101.7 The Truth. And Bob is going to be there with a keyboard and a saxophone. I bet he don't talk slick to me in person. I bet you he don't. Y'all hear all the stuff that Bob say to me. Bob be threatening my whole life when he calls on the phone, but I bet you when I'm standing there in front of him like that big black ass 9-foot statue, because I tower over Bob. If you ain't ever met Bob before, Bob don't look nothing like he sound. A good gust of wind and Bob will disappear. Bob don't weigh nothing but 68 pounds. He a little itty bitty thing. Bob is a petite. He probably shops in the junior misses. You know, he's a little thing. He a little petite little thing. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. On 101.7 The Truth, Beyond the Mic is July 11th at Mr. B's, 8617 West Brown Road. I think we're running commercials for it, so pay attention to those, and everybody show up at Mr. B's on July 11th on a Friday at 5 o'clock. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Summerfest is back, and the award-winning 101.7 The Truth has got you covered. With free tickets, Truth Nation, to the world's largest outdoor festival. Tune into The Truth all week and listen for your cue to call and a chance to win an 18-pack of tickets to Summerfest.
Benjamin, I know you lying.
No, Juice, you heard that right. It's an 18-pack of tickets so your friends and family can enjoy Summerfest on us. So stay tapped into The Truth so you do not miss your chance to enjoy the biggest party on the lakefront. Summerfest is presented by our founding partner, American Family Insurance.
I've got to share that I am also a beneficiary of the Old National Bank Empowerment Loan Program. So, Tracy, with that being said, what is the Empowerment Loan Program?
Great. Well, the Empowerment Loan Program is a special purpose loan program that we launched 2 years ago. It has been a success. It was something near and dear to the heart of not only our chairman and CEO, but just our organization as a whole. We work with contractors, consulting firms, retail food operations, daycares. In fact, so far, we've approved $50 million of loans to minority and women-owned businesses within a 2-year period.
And for those that are now leaning more into this conversation, what's the best way to get in contact with you as part of their interest in the Empowerment Loan Program?
I'm going to give you my cell phone number to the listeners. It's 414-687-7393. And if that doesn't work, feel free to reach me at my email, tracy.meeks@oldnational.com.
Tracy Meeks, Senior Vice President, Community Lending Market Executive from Old National Bank.
Hey everybody, it's Sherwin Hughes, and I got to tell you about one of my absolute favorite places in the city, Mr. B's Privileged Lounge, located on the northwest side of Milwaukee at 8617 West Brown Deer Road. Mr. B's is your go-to destination for comfort food, an incredible drink menu, and live music that keeps the vibes going all night long. So whether you're winding down or if you want to turn up, Mr. B's has the flavor, the energy, and the atmosphere you've been looking for. Mr. B's Privileged Lounge, privileged to serve.
Ride the wave to clean at Tsunami Express Car Wash, Milwaukee's fan favorite for a winning shine. Become a monthly member and enjoy unlimited washes for less than $1 per day. Plus, skip the wait in the fast lane and enjoy unbeatable amenities like free vacuums and tire air. Visit any of their convenient locations in Midtown Milwaukee, Waukesha, Greenfield, Oak Creek, and Mount Pleasant. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Learn more at tsunamiexpress.com.
Milwaukee has been living the high life since 1904. Miller High Life, the champagne of beers. Miller High Life and Beer Capital Distributing are proud to sponsor the Milwaukee Juneteenth celebration. 2025 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Celebrate responsibly.
At Gruber Law Offices, we've helped tens of thousands of families after a serious accident. Our priority has always been our clients. We're here for you whenever you may need us. One call, that's all.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Our phone number is 833-212-1017, 833-212-1017. So I'm supposed to be giving away 17 Summerfest tickets. Can somebody, if you're listening to my show and you work here at Good Karma Brands, can somebody bring me down the piece of paper with the details of the Summerfest giveaway? I mean, I could wing it, but if I mess up on the giveaway, I might end up giving away a car or something. So somebody bring me down that piece of paper so I can give away those 17 Summerfest tickets. Let's talk to Alan, you're on 101.7 The Truth.
Hi, Sherwin. How are you?
I'm doing good, Alan. How are you?
Hey, I'm fantastic. You know, I'm driving back from. I left early, so I get to Mayfair. I had to go to the senior center over here doing something. But I agree with you 100% about that statue. I was cracking up as I'm driving. I just want to tell you, I saw that thing. I saw it, and everything that you're saying, I said to my wife. First off, you got to be kidding me. It is. It's one of them well-meaning, white guilt type people. And then you got, like you said, it's an asterisk. It's a Brit. Yeah, like your producer said. You guys are brilliant. You nailed the whole thing. It's a joke. It is. It's like,
yeah, but
I want to be real.
Alan, I don't know if you are the one that should be saying that it's a joke, though. I think.
Well, I am saying it because it represents nothing. I mean, I could speak as I got free speech. That would be offensive. It would be offensive to me if they did that, and they do. There's quite a few things that I find really offensive. Being a white guy, how people portray us, people like me.
Can I
but it's nothing.
Let me get an example, Alan. I'm fascinated as to how you are sometimes.
January 6th. January 6th.
You earned that.
January
you
6th.
Earned that depiction.
But they don't think. Well, how about the riots going on now? Well, those are freedom fighters, right?
What riots is going on now? Ain't no damn riots going on nowhere.
Los Angeles is one. They were burning the city down, man. Come on, buddy.
You can't
possibly how about the days of peace in Kenosha, Wisconsin?
Hang on a second. I was
Remember
one
the days
square
of peace?
mile, man. That's not nothing. L.A. ain't burning down. Ain't nothing happening in L.A.
I don't know about that. I don't live in L.A. I know they burned Kenosha down, and that was the days of peace, man.
Yeah, but that's Kenosha, though. If Kenosha wasn't here anymore, nobody would even really know. If Kenosha was never born, you know.
What do you mean? What about Ramblers, man? What about Jockey? Come on, man.
Jockey the underwear?
Oh, Lord. Anyway, you are.
Kenosha?
Yeah, it's a Kenosha company. It was Cooper originally. Cooper. That's why we came to, right, that's why my family, when my great-grandfather on grandma's side come up there after the Civil War.
They came here to make underwear?
No, they came there because of the cotton, and everybody was dead who know how to pick cotton, know how to do. When you go to buy, you have to card cotton. You'd buy it, and they had to go like a Britain. And great grandpa was one of the only guys left who had that skill. Oh, I got a nice little red-headed bird here.
What?
I'll send you a picture of it.
Don't.
Anyway, he came up there because he could do the he could do that job, and then we became part of that company. So I just wanted to tell you, man, you're one of the only people, in all honesty, who I don't always agree with you. In fact, but when I do, even when I don't agree with you, you entertain me, and I believe that I could coexist. I can't get along with nobody, but I believe I believe I could for surely coexist with you, man. I mean, your intellect is staggering, to be really honest with you. I got one word, though. If you wanted to, if I was going to argue, and I'm surprised you didn't grasp that before I did.
Diaspora?
Whatever, I said it wrong, but the meaning was good. It was a good something to quick off the top of your head.
Okay, thank you.
But anyway, man.
All right.
Hey, we're gonna come. We might come. We're going to the Isley Brothers. We were doing that anyway. We're gonna be there. Ernie Isley is a monster guitar player. Monster.
Are you going to the Juneteenth celebration? You going on the Juneteenth day?
I don't think we're going to Juneteenth. I'm not quite sure. We watch the parade every year. She don't like that stuff. I mean, I took the kids a few times when they were younger, but I'm not going by myself. No.
Why not, Alan?
Not going to
You call Black Talk Radio by yourself?
But I don't think that I'm necessarily. There's certain things I don't.
Why, Alan?
I don't
blacks
need to
in one area.
Why?
Intimidating for? There's a lot of blacks.
I'm not intimidated at all by the scene.
A lot of blacks.
No, I'm not intimidated.
Lot of
That's
blacks.
not going to bother me.
Blacks everywhere.
I'm looking out my window right now. There's a lot.
So many blacks.
Maybe I will. Maybe we will.
But
we're going to probably come to to that thing on the 11th. I'm going to ask Ty. Let's go to that, man. I know that place. Maybe we'll. That'll be fun, won't it?
Yeah, it'll be fun.
we'll get dressed up. I'll come out looking normal. I had a nice outfit on today. Get this. I was at the Bath and Body Works. I had to go pick up a bunch of stuff. And there was a guy with green hair standing in front of me. I'm wearing a flaming bright green lime shirt, Ralph Lauren. And I don't even know why I'm wearing this thing. But this guy at that, I said, hey, man. I said, my shirt matches your hair. And I don't know if I think I might have offended him or something. I wasn't trying to. It's like we were kindred. We were kindred souls for a minute there.
It's too bad he didn't appreciate that. But thank you for calling, Alan.
I don't know if he did or not. Anyway, thank you. And I'm going to turn you on because, like I said, I might not always agree, but you're always entertaining. You're way better than anything else on the radio.
Come to Juneteenth Day and come to our broadcast booth because I'll be there. Yeah, come on down and come
really?
say hi.
Should I show up?
Yes, come on down to the Juneteenth. Yes, come say hi, Alan. I'll be there, sitting down right there at the tent. Yep, come on.
Should I mock your accent when I do it, like you're doing me?
Yeah, you should. Come on down tomorrow.
Okay, maybe I will.
All right, then. I'll see you tomorrow. All right.
All right, God bless you,
All
man.
Right, God bless
maybe
you.
I'll do some stepping. Come on, guys. We're talking to Sherwin.
Now he was talking to the dogs about me. Do you see what I deal with? I hope he shows up, too. Wait a minute. Where's Sherwin at? He told me he was going to be here. I told you I'm going to be wearing my trench coat and my hat and my glasses. And I'm going to be chilling. Y'all ain't even going to know that I'm at Juneteenth Day. I'm going to be wearing a disguise. You know, like in them 80s movies, they wear that disguise with them fake glasses and that big nose and that mustache? That's what I'm going to be wearing tomorrow with a trench coat on. Can somebody get me the Summerfest ticket, Reed? Ben, do you know where it is? Because I was supposed to do it yesterday, and I didn't, and I don't have it. And I got to give away 17 Summerfest tickets. We'll do that in hour 3. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. We'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Good Karma Brands would like to send out a big congratulations to Tori Lowe. Tori recently received a proclamation from both the city of Milwaukee and Milwaukee County. So
the people behind Milwaukee's Realist Talk. Well, here's your chance. 1017 The Truth presents the second annual Beyond the Mic Happy Hour Social Mixer Series. Every month this summer, we're hitting up a different venue in Milwaukee, so come kick back, enjoy incredible food, drinks, and meet your favorite 1017 The Truth hosts, producers, and listeners in a fun, laid-back social environment. Keep listening to 1017 The Truth to find out where we'll be for the next. If you ever wanted to meet the people behind Milwaukee's Realist Talk, well, here's your chance. 1017 The Truth presents the second annual Beyond the Mic Happy Hour Social Mixer Series. Every month this summer, we're hitting up a different venue in Milwaukee, so come kick back, enjoy incredible food, drinks, and meet your favorite 1017 The Truth hosts, producers, and listeners in a Truth Nation, have you ever wanted to meet the people behind Milwaukee's Realist Talk? Well, here's your chance. 1017 The Truth presents the second annual Beyond the Mic Happy Hour Social Mixer Series. Every month this summer, we're hitting up a different venue in Milwaukee, so come kick back, enjoy incredible food, drinks, and meet your favorite Truth Nation, have you ever wanted to meet the people behind Milwaukee's Realist Talk? Well, here's your chance. 1017 The Truth presents the second annual Beyond the Mic Happy Hour Social Mixer Series. Every month this summer, we're hitting up a different venue in Milwaukee, so come kick back, enjoy incredible food, drinks, and meet your favorite 1017 The Truth hosts, producers, and listeners in a fun, laid-back social environment. Keep listening to 1017 The Truth to find out where we'll be for the next Beyond the Mic. Truth Nation, have you ever wanted to meet the people behind Milwaukee's Realist Talk? Well, here's your chance. 1017 The Truth presents the second annual Beyond the Mic Happy Hour Social Mixer Series. Every month this summer, we're hitting up a different venue in Milwaukee, so come kick back, enjoy incredible food.
Being a caregiver for a family member can be very rewarding. It can be very challenging, too. Besides taking a physical and emotional toll, it can also take a real financial toll, especially if you're paying for home safety upgrades, covering medical expenses, cutting back on hours at your job, or having to leave your job altogether. In some states and in certain situations, you may be eligible to get paid for the care you provide. But finding reliable information about caregiver compensation can be overwhelming and very time-consuming. The AARP Foundation Paid for Care Hub can help. It's a free online tool developed with support from United Healthcare, where you can search compensation programs, explore your options, and get answers to frequently asked questions. Find out today if it's possible to be compensated for the time, effort, and care you're providing. Visit paidforcare.aarpfoundation.org to learn more.
Truth Nation, stand up and tap in. This is 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome to Hour 3 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. Appreciate you guys tuning in to the program this morning. I want to make sure that as we are celebrating and commemorating the 54th annual Juneteenth celebration in Milwaukee tomorrow, it also coincides with the start of Summerfest. And there is a collaboration of sorts of these two, what I'm going to say, monumental events that are roughly the same age. Summerfest is 57 years old. We have been commemorating Juneteenth in the city of Milwaukee for 54 years. The collaboration of these events, if executed in a particular way, could be something monumental. I am just not sure if how it is currently being executed is in the right way. However, us beggars cannot be choosers. I've always wanted Juneteenth Day to be a little bit more elevated, not exploited, but elevated, to be instructed and to be taught for its historical value so that America can benefit from having two Independence Days. It's like having two birthdays, two of them, because this nation could not have been free if its citizenry, a large portion of its citizenry for hundreds of years, was not free. And so the freeing of us should not be seen as any kind of a threat, and I believe that it was. And that was the creation and the edifice for the whole Confederacy. Fear of what we would do when we became free like everybody else. And so I want that history to be taught. And I'm reminded of things that continue to let me know that that history is not being taught adequately. A Republican candidate for the U.S. Senate, Eric Hovde, don't worry, he lost. He stopped by our 1017 The Truth broadcast area yesterday in the middle of his campaign for the U.S. Senate, and the way he just so casually dismissed Juneteenth Day. Dude just thought it was a ho-hum, run-of-the-mill street festival. And you can go back and listen to the interview. I don't know where the hell you're going to find it at. But he was like, look at this. Look at all you people out here. This is cute. You got your little vendors and got your little parade. It was so condescending. And then he said something that was the piece de resistance. He said he had never heard of Juneteenth Day prior to 11 or 12 years before his attendance. He had never heard of it. Never heard of it. And so I fear that we are not being taken seriously, and I don't want the combination of Juneteenth Day and Summerfest, and I don't know what they're going to do next year because I'm not sure when Summerfest starts in 2026. I'm not sure when June 19th falls next year. But I don't know if commercializing the Juneteenth holiday, and I say that because there is an event that is celebrating black food vendors that is a part of this Juneteenth weekend, I'm going to call it, because it also is the first weekend of Summerfest, where you've got The Atwood Highway Barbecue Company, Dear Florence Sweets, Glad's Kitchen, It's Smackin', which is another black-owned restaurant, Jericho's Barbecue, Johnny's Kitchen Creations, Peachy Plates, Pop's Barbecue, Memphis Style, Kay's Finger Food Catering, and Uger Grill. These are all African-American-owned restaurants and or food serving establishments, and they're doing this thing called the Taste of Juneteenth at Summerfest. It's an hour and 45-minute long event, and the tickets cost $100. But I should have known that when you have a holiday that reaches national status, it is going to get commercialized. Memorial Day sales, Mother's Day sales, Father's Day sales, 4th of July sales extravaganza. Do they do sales for MLK Day? Probably get 50% off of a Serta sleeper. That goes along with it because corporate America is always going to have their say. If there is a day in which we are recognizing or commemorating something and people have off of work, they're going to try and sell you something on that day off because clearly Americans have nothing better to do than eat and shop. And then we talked about the statue that exists, this 9-foot-tall bronze statue right there in the middle of Vel Phillips Plaza here in Milwaukee. It's a statue by British sculptor Thomas J. Price. Statue was called Within the Folds, and it's supposed to spark some kind of a dialogue about African Americans taking up space and being seen and being noticed for who and what we are. And I guess he did all those sculptures in New York City in Times Square. I saw some things on social media, and people were just blasting those sculptures, just making a mockery of them. And maybe some of this is us. Maybe we got to take a little responsibility for this because I'm not sure. If you were to put a statue up, and I have my ideas, right? I want unknown historic black figures to be recognized because there's so many that I don't know. I sometimes resent Black History Month, but not for the reasons why you may think. Because every year I'm learning about something that our people did, and I get angry because it wasn't taught to us intentionally. All of our history, ladies and gentlemen, this is the important part. Some people may think, oh, well, they just didn't write stuff down and we did. Yes, they did. They have every single move we've ever made written down, scripted in a book somewhere, in a manuscript somewhere. They marked and denoted everything that we did. And one of the reasons why they didn't share all of our contributions is so that they could steal our contributions and keep them as their own. So every single Black History Month, we learn about the first this and the black person that did this in 1721. And we do the little vignettes here at 1017 The Truth where we highlight historic black figures. And every time I read about one or I hear about one, it feels like a little cut. Because here's someone that existed, that did something, that made something, that created something, that made life a little bit better for all people, not just black people, and they didn't teach us about that person on purpose. Because you know what that would do? It would motivate us. It would excite us. It would give us hope. It would give us confidence if we knew all the things that our people did, that we made out of nothing. Well, here's the thing. There's another thing they're sensitive about. They don't want to highlight and showcase. You got to listen real good now. This is very important. The whole theme of my show is I want us to be taken seriously. A lot of what we created, what we made, what we invented was before the schools were integrated. I need you to think about this. They don't want to showcase black engineering and black ingenuity and black STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. And some of our most prominent African-American creators were scientists. Look at George Washington Carver. He made more than peanut butter. He made an explosive out of some peanuts. He did. Why peanuts, you got to wonder? Because that's probably all he could get his hands on. He probably could have did it with corn or soybeans or a shoestring because we're just very inventive people. But he did all those things before we integrated the schools. They want America to think that black people were nothing before we integrated the schools. They want America to think that when we let the blacks go to school with us, that's when they started to do stuff and create stuff and be inventors and be engineers. No, we were doing that long before. Let me do you one better. Let me give you one more little bit of something to argue with somebody about. So lately, maybe the last 10 years, I guess that's not really lately, there's been this push of STEM and STEAM education. You guys ever heard of STEM and STEAM? I refer to it fairly often. STEM is science, technology, engineering, and math, and STEAM is science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. And now it's like this revolutionary curriculum where you incorporate STEM and STEAM into the curriculum. Where black people excelled the most before school integration were in STEM and STEAM. And what do? Took it out. And now they're reinvigorating it like, oh, look at this new curriculum and program, STEM and STEAM. We've always been scientists. We've always been mathematicians and engineers. And then it disappeared because we were real good at it. And they're like, oh, look, we're going to bring it back. It never should have left in the first place.
Did you know Daniel Hale Williams was the first black person to do open heart surgery?
I think I didn't know that. And I think we created the first artificial heart, too. Because, black folks, our hearts break a lot. So I'm not surprised that we do heart transplants, inventing artificial hearts. All right, let's talk to Brother Reg. Hi.
Yeah, how you doing there? How you doing? I'm the first-time caller. I heard you on the radio yesterday, and I think I like that radio station. But look here, brother. Just like when they came out with that Hidden Figures like that, and they were them young black women when they made the figures for the spaceship going in space.
Yes.
And then they always coming back. Cause Lewis Latimer, he made the filament right for the light bulb, right, where it can stay on, right. And then they always, like I say, they always try to demean us black people on TV. They always find somebody, I hope I'm not saying the wrong thing, they always try to find somebody white that was famous, you know what I mean? And like you said, George Washington Carver Jr., man, that was an amazing man, you hear me? And he made 360 different products out of a peanut, man. Come on.
That's a lot of products.
I mean, man, and like I said, they had the guy that he invented the signals going back from the trains back and forth so they wouldn't collide with each other. That was a black man. And I mean, they always find somebody white to honor, right? And, just like that, I was listening to that white guy that called earlier. Now, we can go support their Green Bay Packers, their Bucks. We can go support their Summerfest and all. They talk about, oh, great, we got made all this money in this community. We got billions of dollars, right? But we go buy all their equipment, right? All their hats, their sweatshirts. But where's their loyalty to our community, right? They don't put nothing back in our community. They bring all these people all the way to overseas. I used to work with this guy. I was training him, and he was an Oriental guy, right? And he said, they said, you blacks are stupid, right? I turned to look at him, almost backhand him up 17.
The Oriental said that, not the Oriental.
Man, I was training this guy, right?
Oh.
And he turned around and he said, hey, I think he resented me, and I seen it by his facial expressions, right? And I looked at him, I said, what's the problem? He said, oh, they say you blacks in America are stupid. And I looked at him, I said, man, you're kidding. I said, who told you that? He said the white people told us that before we came to America. I said, here they go with they tricks again. Years ago, it was that black people had tails, right? Okay? They try to create this racial demeanor on us black people, but we don't pay no attention to it. And I showed them how intelligent black people were, and he did come back and apologize to me, right?
The Oriental.
We're
talking about the Oriental.
Huh?
The Oriental apology.
Yeah, he came back and apologized to me because the job I was showing him, it took a pretty mean demeanor at working machineries, right? And he seen that I was good at it, and then he said, "Hey, man, he was really sorry, man. You know what I mean?"
He said, man, I'm really sorry. He said, man, they told us that.
Well, I'm glad you set him straight, Brother Reg, and we appreciate you calling. Question, so you had never heard of 101.7 The Truth before, ever? You never heard of us?
No, I was going to the hospital yesterday, for them to take out 1,000 tubes out of my black body, right? and I heard you guys talking yesterday, right? And I said, who is that on that radio, right? I think y'all were talking about getting into fights and butting into fights, am I right?
Yeah, that sounds like us. Yeah, sounds like something we'd be saying.
I was back there laughing, right? Because, you can't be running around breaking up fights, man, And that's how I got a hold of you. I said, man, I think I'm going to call that radio station tomorrow, right?
Thank you for calling her. And
yeah, man, that was real, man. And I felt that, man. Y'all kept it real, man. And I said, I like that radio station.
All right now. And we like you,
I'm gonna tune in to y'all every day.
Every day. Thank you, Brother Reg.
Yeah, God bless you. God bless you.
Bless you, too. All right, then. You understand? It's that Oriental, right? Oriental said us black people are stupid. Well, thank you for finding us, Brother Reg, and participating in the conversation. I just want to make sure that we are taken seriously and that we are not just reduced to, and that our progress is measured by somebody else, because somebody else may say, oh, wow, look, they had a black president. They had a black woman that ran for president. We had a bunch of black women that have run for president. Shirley Chisholm, she ran too. And then I don't want them to say, oh, you guys have arrived. You've made it. We don't have to continue to fight for the equality of black people in every single facet and aspect of life, because you have a statue made by a British guy that's in Bell Phillips Plaza. Because to them, I think public art means something else. Because they would honor the Confederacy, right? So they've got Confederate monuments, Confederate statues. So public art to them is a really, really big deal. I'm more focused on education. I would rather people know what black people did, what we made, what we created, and what we contributed. And a lot of times we didn't even ask for anything. We didn't ask for any money. We didn't get a patent on stuff. We just made stuff to make everybody's life a little bit better, but also to show that we contribute to this nation, because we also want the United States to realize its full potential. And it cannot realize its full potential without us. And so maybe they look at public art differently. I just know that the statue, you know what I'm going to do? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go see the statue. I'm off tomorrow and Friday. I might go see the statue. If I go see the statue, I take a selfie with the statue. I might climb up on his big black ass, sit on his shoulders, and take a selfie. He's bronze. He's big, strong, Kia boy looking motherfather. I'm going to climb up on him and take me a picture. And that'll be public art. I'll take my shirt off. I dare you to say I'll take my shirt off anywhere. Off for the next couple of days. My vacation starts in about 45 minutes. Shirt's going to come off. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. Right now I am still wearing a shirt. We're going to give away some Summerfest tickets. Do we have the thing? All right. So I'm going to take a break. When I come back, I should make them answer a trivia question. What's a good trivia question? When was what time was the first broadcast of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes? The first day we broadcasted, what time did my broadcast begin? Even if you don't get the question right, you're still going to win the tickets. But I'm curious if anybody knows what time did The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth first crack the airwaves? That was January 4th, 2021. I'll never forget it like it was yesterday. January 4th, 2021, and we had a great first day. And then it was January 5th that we came back for our next day, and we're starting to think, what kind of identity should we form? What kind of radio station are we going to be? Then the next day was January 6th, 2021, and I think at that moment we knew. You stay tuned. Going to give away 10 Summerfest tickets, 17 Summerfest tickets. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Truth Nation, are you looking for a fun opportunity to showcase your clothing line, restaurant, nonprofit organization, food truck, or small business? Well, look no further than doing it at our Truth Family Fest on Saturday, August 23rd from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Riverside University High School. We are currently accepting vendor applications for our festival, and you don't want to miss out on this great opportunity to promote your business and be part of all the fun. To be a vendor at Truth Family Fest, visit truthfamilyfest.com and sign up today.
Hey, Truth Nation, it's your girl DT from The Truth Unfiltered with DT and Dr. Ken Harris. Now listen, at a critical time, through the Empowerment Small Business Loan Program, Old National Bank provided the resources I needed to sustain my business. Now the process had its challenges, but I was supported, and it was also an invaluable learning experience for future ventures. I am so grateful for the support that helped my business thrive. Old National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender, all loans subject to approval.
We believe that self-care isn't selfish. I'm Maddie from Sweet Talks, a women-owned and operated medical spa fostering self-love and confidence. We believe that beauty is about feeling empowered from within, and it's truly a passion for our team at Sweet Talks. Your goals are our goals. Our services go beyond injectables, including facials, lasers, medical weight loss, hormone therapy, and more. There's even a cafe, complimentary to all patients. Get started today at Sweet Talks in Menominee Falls. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
Hey everybody, it's Sherwin Hughes, and I got to tell you about one of my absolute favorite places in the city, Mr. B's Privileged Lounge, located on the northwest side of Milwaukee at 8617 West Brown Deer Road. Mr. B's is your go-to destination for comfort food, an incredible drink menu, and live music that keeps the vibes going all night long. So whether you're winding down or if you want to turn up, Mr. B's has the flavor, the energy, and the atmosphere you've been looking for. Mr. B's Privileged Lounge, privileged to serve.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent, as an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axehousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe coaches are here to help.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
That's right, JD. You'll see me at Juneteenth tomorrow. If I wore a wig, I'd have to shave this beard off, though. And I put on a dress and some heels.
You don't have to shave to put on a dress.
Well, I want to look a little less like me because this beard is a dead giveaway. I bet I could get away with not being recognized if I went down to Juneteenth Day looking like Medea. Speaking of Medea,
you're gender fluid.
Then no, the hell I'm not. I got fluid, all right, but it ain't got nothing to do with my gender. So here's a trivia question for you. Who's my first producer at 1017 The Truth? Hell, can you name all my producers? I was thinking about that the other day. Had a bunch. To do radio effectively, and there are ineffective ways to do this, but to do it effectively, a producer and a host you are connected. You're kind of married. Xavier fills in sometimes. You're like my side piece. I'm not married to you. Currently, I'm married to Ricky, which, let me say this about Ricky. I've known him for a long time. Ricky started producing my show. He may have a different year, but I think 2014. So as I was starting to figure out, well, I was about 2 years in, I think, when Ricky came to WNOV. But we grew together in how to execute radio in this city with these issues and our guests and our elected officials, right? That's different than other radio. Here's the thing about Ricky. Ricky is my chicken, and I expect eggs from him. I don't expect milk or beef from Ricky. Ricky's the chicken, I get eggs. And that's all I expect from Ricky. And as I grew, he grew. And the thing about producers is if a host is growing, the producer also has to advance. And a lot of times you may have a mismatch. You may have a producer that is becoming much more specialized in their skill, but the host is not getting better, and they have these diverging paths. Or you'll have a host that begins to get more confident and get better, and you have a producer that stays at the same level. But I get to a point where I don't want a producer to even attempt to do more than they know how to do. Some producers you can get milk from, eggs from, cheese from. They can do it all. Half-assedly, but they'll do it all. I would rather have a producer that's a chicken and just gives me eggs. But you can only fry it once. So there you go. Reginald Jones says, please, no drag. Y'all love black people in drag. Look it up. You love Medea. I'm not going to say anything about the accusations against Tyler Perry because I don't care. For me, the sexual proclivities of people, of famous people, it's not newsworthy to me. I don't care. I'm not following the Diddy trial. I literally don't care. And I tried to be interested in it because they would give me stuff to talk about, but I really don't care. I don't know. I think you have to be a certain kind of person to find interest in the sexual proclivities of other people. To me, it's just like, oh, okay, that's what they have going on. That's kind of weird. Oh, I would never do that. But it's not anything that I talk about. Like, I got friends that send me updates from the Diddy trial. Why would I want that? What is it about did Diddy do it or did Diddy not do it that makes people so fascinated by that? Like, who cares? We already knew he was a jerk. He's a jerk and a freak. He's a freak jerk. And I just don't care about that kind of stuff. Tyler Perry, did he sexually harass a man? Probably. Do I care? I do not. Tyler Perry is a crossdresser. A lot of black men have to dress up as women. Flip Wilson did it with Geraldine. Martin did it with Shanae and with Big Mama. A bunch of black men have to do that. Kevin Hart said he wouldn't do it, though, and I admire him for that. A lot of actors, male actors, dress as women. If you notice that, there's not a lot of female actors that dress as men, but a lot of male actors, they put them in a dress and a wig. Robin Williams and Mrs. Doubtfire. It happens. So it's just, I don't know, Hollywood is just weird, and I'm never shocked by anything any celebrity does or what they're accused of. I always think there's some truth to any accusation against a celebrity, Harvey Weinstein's and all that stuff. But you also have willing participants, too. Some of you would have slobbed on Bill Cosby's knob for a part in a show. And some of you are men. But whatever. I wouldn't slob on a knob to get a radio show. I would not. I don't even know how far I would go. Like, oh, Sherwin, how bad do you want the radio show? Not that bad. What are you willing to do? I don't know. Jumping jacks, maybe? Like nothing too crazy. All right, here we go. You guys ready? I feel like we need like some music or something, some theater here. Let me see. What is this here? What's playing? Milwaukee's biggest party on the lake is back. Summerfest makes its return tomorrow. And to celebrate, The Truth is giving away Summerfest tickets all week long. Enjoy Summerfest on us. Now is your chance to win an 18-pack of tickets so you and a friend can attend every single day of Summerfest, courtesy of 1017 The Truth. Call right now, Call now, 833-212-1017. I'll give you the number again, even though you already have it. 833-212-1017 and be caller number 10. 4? Come on, man. You got to give them. Look at the lines already lit up. Caller number, we'll split the difference. Caller number 5. Caller number 5 wins an 18-pack of Summerfest tickets, the ultimate Summerfest ticket giveaway. That's 833-212-1017 wins an 18-pack of Summerfest tickets. If you want to give me your tickets, you can. You greedy son of a biscuits. Who needs 18 tickets? Well, call right now. Be caller number 5. You're going to win 18 tickets. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Get that jump start to a fulfilling career at Carroll University through majors such as video game design, music therapy, pre-law, and over 90 additional majors. Carroll University is Wisconsin's oldest university. Founded in 1846, Carroll offers students small class sizes, personalized attention, and a generous financial aid package while they receive a cutting-edge education. Learn more at carrollu.edu. That's carrollu.edu.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Here is Dr. Ken Harris with his truth.
You know, in life, our journey is not meant to be walked alone. As much as self-reliance and independence are celebrated, we need an inner circle, a group of trusted friends who uplift, challenge, and remind us of our purpose. Your inner circle is more than just companionship. It's your compass. These are the people who see your potential when self-doubt clouds your vision, who tell you the truth even when it's uncomfortable, and who stand beside you when the weight of the world feels unbearable. You know, the value of an inner circle is not just in the emotional support, but in accountability. They hold us to our highest standards, ensuring we don't settle for mediocrity. It's through this circle that we refine our thoughts, grow in character and courage to face life's battles. Today is no exception. Choose wisely. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, energize you, and believe in your dreams as much as you do. They will then shape your growth, strengthen your resilience, and celebrate your victories. You know, James Baldwin once said, "The place in which I will fit will not exist until I make it." Your inner circle is part of that place, a foundation for your growth, your success, and most importantly, belonging.
This has been Truth Takes on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Listen to The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris, weekdays from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
SWV needs to do a comeback tour. I'd go see them. I'd go see them at Summerfest. All right, who won the tickets? What's the person's name?
K1.
K? That's K. K. K is the person. Congratulations, K. Let's see who this is. Hello?
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. What's going on?
Is this for the Summerfest tickets?
No. I mean, yeah, but somebody already won.
Oh. Dang.
Are you going?
Well, thanks for taking my call.
Are you still,
I am going.
You still
yes,
can go. Who you going to see? You going to see somebody?
Yes, I'm going to see Megan Thee Stallion.
Oh, that's right. She is going to be performing. You know, Genuine is going to be there too now.
Oh, yeah, I heard. Him and Bow Wow. That's a lot of people.
You're not going to see Genuine?
You
got a pony?
No. Maybe. I don't know.
Well, thank you for calling. You tried next time.
Yes,
and maybe
thank
you'll
you.
win next time. Okay, bye-bye now. Bye-bye. All right, then now. Megan Thee Stallion? I went to Wisconsin Fest on Saturday at the rave, and Glorilla was there. She did one song. Keisha Cole didn't show up at all. That was foul. But whatever.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. It was, it was all right. I got some stuff here. I just want us to be taken seriously. I know today we joked around a lot. We played around a lot. Had a good time today. Talked about a whole bunch of different things. Talked about that statue in Bell Phillips Plaza. And I don't, personally, this is a Sherwin thing. I don't think that exhibitions of public art suffice for all of the things that are still missing in telling America our story. We're so easily discounted and discredited because our whole story hasn't been explained. If our whole story has been explained, who we are, why we are, what we had to go through, the tensions that exist in our community were built and created and exacerbated, and then there's an economic component to it, there's an education component to it, there's an investment component to it, there's a public health component to it. Like teen pregnancy, it's a public health issue, right? And so if you knew all of those different things, then some of our behaviors would be easier to explain, not excuse, but easier to explain. So instead, when there are behaviors that are exhibited by a very, very small minority of African Americans, I feel the need to distance the rest of our community and our culture from them, because if we don't, they're going to assume that we're all like that. And then you have stuff like in Milwaukee, I don't know if they still do it, but if they don't want you in their establishment, there's little things they can do, because you can't say no blacks allowed. Even though Donald Trump did create an executive order, I'm not kidding you, where federal contractors, if you're a federal contractor and you serve the public, so if you have any kind of contract with the federal government and you serve the public, you can deny somebody based on race. That actually is an executive order that Donald Trump signed into law. What happens is executive orders are signed into law, and then individual establishments will then follow suit. So an example was when Kennedy signed the executive order that created affirmative action, then private companies and private employers decided that they were going to adopt affirmative action too. But the government goes first. I said that to say Donald Trump signed an executive order where any federal contractor that chooses not to does not have to honor the service of anybody that they don't want to, including people who are gay, who are black, who are Latino, Hispanic, et cetera, et cetera. So that's coming. But in the city of Milwaukee, and we find this out, and I'm trying to get my colleagues to understand this, because Black Talk Radio is real new for Good Karma Brands. It's new for y'all. Y'all do sports good. I swear every Packer and a non-Packer fanatics got radio shows here at Good Karma Brands. We do sports real good. Black Talk Radio, it's new for them. Sometimes it's hard for people to understand. Some white businesses may want more money, more profit, more revenue, but they don't want to get it from black people. I'm not saying anything new to a lot of you, because there are some white businesses in the city of Milwaukee. I can give you a dozen restaurants, different places. They love money. They love to make money. They love customers. They love new customers. They want new customers. They want to attract new customers. They love when we have stuff like Bastille Days and Jazz in the Park, because that brings new people and new purses and new wallets to downtown Milwaukee. And a lot of times those businesses, they want to capture all those tourism dollars. That's the whole point of tourism. You get people to come to your city, to your town from other places, and they buy stuff. That's what we want them to do. We want them to rent cars and pay those ridiculous taxes. We want them to get hotel rooms and pay those ridiculous taxes and fees because that ultimately is supposed to benefit us. And they want to make money. Businesses want to make money. Restaurants want to make money. But if they're making their money from black people, they will literally take chicken wings off of the menu. I don't know where I was at. I go so many damn places, y'all. Who was I with? Oh, I know who I was with. Never mind. Well, they asked for Remy or Hennessy. I think both. And this establishment was like, yeah, we don't carry either. Why do you think that is? There's places that have to have these really weird dress codes. I'm not sure if they still do that anymore. No plain white T-shirts, no athletic tees, no neck tattoos. I'm actually okay with that. Xavier, you got any neck tattoos?
No tattoos.
All right. None at all?
0.
Good. That's how it's supposed to be. Sorry, tattoo people. Y'all gonna regret some of them. I don't know how you don't. Saw like this. She had to have been 80 years old. So she looked 80. Knowing them, she might have been 40. But she was covered in tattoos and she looked horrible. Like, y'all gonna regret that one day. We'll approach a business and say, we have got a really strong listener base here at 101.7 The Truth. They're consumers. They got money. They own homes. They got big old bank accounts, 401ks, 403bs. They are major consumers. Plus, African Americans, we are consumers. Our economy is strong. We're somewhere near $1.5 trillion in spending power. What business wouldn't want to take advantage of that? But there also is a perception that if a business advertises on Black Talk Radio, that you're going to get black customers, and they don't want us in their establishments. You have to understand and, to some extent, appreciate about the racism in this city. Because and this is why I call out bad black behavior, and I always will. Because if the stereotypes persist, and if we don't call it out, we don't say, hey, that's not all of us, that's just a select few. What happens is this. It's just like when black people come into restaurants, the servers, I've heard this 20 times. If a group of black people come into a restaurant, somewhere downtown, right, where the majority of the staff, the wait staff is white, they argue over who's going to wait on us because nobody wants to. That is horrible. It makes me sick. It makes me sick. But it's the absolute truth because we just don't tip. We're ornery. We can be disrespectful. We want everything. My ice ain't cold enough. And then we try to get away with not paying. But ma'am, you ate the entire burger. Yes, but it was not quite to my liking. When black people show up in certain establishments, the white people stop going. And then the business owners got two choices. I've seen this happen more times than I can count. Somebody needs to write a book on this. I guess I'd have to be the one to write the book on it. You have an establishment that says, oh, we want to be multicultural and culturally diverse. And maybe they do spend a little money on black media and they get a few more black patrons, right? And then what happens is black folks discover something new. It's crazy the amount of spots in this city that black folks haven't even discovered yet. Like since the freeway came down in 2000, 2001, we're just starting to discover other parts of Milwaukee. It's weird because we just stayed on the north side for everything. For our shopping, our grocery shopping. We used to go to the Empire Room and Questions. Even our nightclubs were in the black community. They tore the freeway down and they systematically started revoking the liquor licenses of black clubs because they basically said, if you want to spend money on liquor, you're coming to Water Street. You're bringing your black ass to Water Street. But here's what happens. So they try and get more black wallets and more black dollars to spend money in entertainment districts, right? And then what happens is the white folks get scared. And the white folks stop going. Now, more and more of us, especially with social media, because we'll tweet about it, we'll post about, oh, we turning up at XYZ place, and if it's downtown, we think it's fancy. Carson's is not fancy. Sorry, Carson's, but they're not going to advertise with us anyway. So we go downtown, and you have a business that had a whole bunch of white people, and they're like, oh, we want more revenue. Milwaukee is a growing majority minority city. We want to advertise to black people. We get black people in here too. And then the white people stop going. And now their establishment that they wanted to be multicultural is now entirely black. And businesses have to deal with that. If you advertise to black people and we start showing up at your establishment, white people will stop going. Not in every establishment, but in certain places, you got to appreciate this too. You don't have to like it, but you got to respect it. White folks go certain places to get away from us. And I'm not mad at them for that. Because here's the thing. We don't always want to be around them either, which is fine. But then you have an establishment that back in the day used to be lily white, and now it's all black. Or they close, or they rebrand, or they sell it to somebody else. It happens all the time. I said all that to say this. Tomorrow's Juneteenth Day, and I don't think anybody takes us serious. Do I take this call? Oh, let's see. You must have something good to say. I'm sure you calling back a second time. You over here acting like Bob, the town. Bob does double dips.
Psych, I'm just going to psych. Yeah, this is a very important question. I want to know what you think about this. Like, okay, like all the bars and all the festivals or whatever like that. To stop the violence there, like, couldn't we put, like, for a law, like an enhancer, like, okay, like, if you get caught messing with drugs around a school zone or whatever like that, you know, the violations are harsher. Why don't we do that when it comes to our festivals and our bars and our places where people meet up at? That way, it don't matter if it's black or white or SA or whatever, you get caught like the people that was fighting at the night market or whatever like that.
Okay.
If it was like okay, for that thing, if it was like 3 years probation or whatever.
Okay.
Make it 6. Have an enhancer of that to tell the people like, okay, because we a festival city. We a city with a whole bunch of bars. We like our people to congregate, but we don't want no trouble. If we gonna get some trouble from any of y'all, we just gonna bank you, and we're gonna bank you hard. We don't care if you black. We don't care if you white. You know what I'm saying? We don't care what you are.
The town. So I'm going to answer that. I want to respond to that because I actually think that's a novel idea, but I got to take a break. So I'm going to take my break. When I come back from the break, I'm going to respond to your suggestion where you put an enhancer on someone who is violent or acting disorderly at like a public festival. So I'm going to answer it on the other side.
Public place. Right. There you go.
All right. Thank you for your call. I do have an answer for that, but I'm going to take a break and come back. And I'm going to answer the town's question as to why we can't or should maybe have an enhancer if somebody is in a public place of an event, a festival or something, and they act a fool, get into a fight. Should we have extra penalties on that person for those actions in those public spaces? The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. Will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Truth Nation, please join us for the 54th annual Juneteenth celebration in Milwaukee on Thursday, June 19th. The Truth will be broadcasting live from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. So don't miss out on your chance to celebrate with us with our live Juneteenth broadcast presented by Hope Christian Schools and Carroll University. 1017 The Truth celebration of Juneteenth is also brought to you by American Family Insurance, Associated Bank, Gruber Law Offices, Molson Coors, and Educators Credit Union.
Why did Old National Bank decide to create this program?
You know, it was something that was near and dear to the heart of our chairman and CEO, Jim Bryant. Jim wanted us to do more in the African-American communities, more with minority-owned businesses. So he approached Roland Shelton, who was my boss in Evansville, Indiana, and said, Roland, we need to do more. We need to create a program that's going to allow individuals, minority-owned businesses, women-owned businesses to access capital a lot better than traditionally we've been doing. And so we created the Empowerment Loan Program 2 years ago.
And for those that are now leaning more into this conversation, what's the best way to get in contact with you as part of their interest in the Empowerment Loan Program?
I'm going to give you my cell phone number to the listeners, 414-687-7393. And if that doesn't work, feel free to reach me at my email, tracy.meeks@oldnational.com.
Tracy Meeks, Senior Vice President, Community Lending Market Executive from Old National Bank.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
They treated me like family.
They're actually people that you can depend on.
They made me feel seen. They really treated me like I was a part of their family, a part of their team.
They ask how you're doing, how you're feeling.
They're just so welcoming and so sweet and kind.
It's like family, caring about another member of the family.
If you've been injured, it costs you nothing to see if Gruber Law Offices can help.
Ride the wave to clean at Tsunami Express Car Wash, Milwaukee's fan favorite for a winning shine. Become a monthly member and enjoy unlimited washes for less than $1 per day. Plus, skip the wait in the fast lane and enjoy unbeatable amenities like free vacuums and tire air. Visit any of their convenient locations in Midtown Milwaukee, Waukesha, Greenfield, Oak Creek, and Mount Pleasant. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Learn more at tsunamiexpress.com.
Hey everybody, it's Sherwin Hughes, and I got to tell you about one of my absolute favorite places in the city, Mr. B's Privileged Lounge, located on the northwest side of Milwaukee at 8617 West Brown Deer Road. Mr. B's is your go-to destination for comfort food, an incredible drink menu, and live music that keeps the vibes going all night long. So whether you're winding down or if you want to turn up, Mr. B's has the flavor, the energy, and the atmosphere you've been looking for. Mr. B's Privileged Lounge, privileged to serve.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they have been proudly serving the community for over 26 years from the location at 54th and Burleigh. Their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. They offer a wide range of services, including banners and posters and yard signs and business cards and programs and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit them at greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions, we are here when you need us. And Truth Nation, our Beyond the Mic Happy Hour Mixer Series is always a hit. And it was a hit last year. Millions of people showed up, and we're bringing it back this year. Join our Truth team for Beyond the Mic 2025 on Friday, July 11th from 5 until 7 p.m. at Mr. B's Lounge, located at 8617 West Brown Deer Road in Milwaukee. There will be delicious cocktails, food, great conversations, and, you get to hang out with us and people that listen to the show. That's always a hoot. We're also going to give away stays to the Chula Vista Resort and more. We're going to give away more stuff than that. So we'll see you Friday, July 11th at Mr. B's from 5 until 7 p.m. All right, the town called in and he said, well, why can't we have some kind of penalty enhancer if anybody, right, gets into a fight or they're disruptive or if they act disorderly at one of these public events or festivals? Let me tell you why we can't do that. Because we would call it racist. That's why. If the city of Milwaukee, the mayor does a press conference next spring, so April of 2026, and Chevy says, he sounds like Obama. We got a new ordinance. And anyone who is acting in a way that is disruptive at any one of our public festivals or events, you will have a penalty enhancement. Fine will be doubled, and it will be a misdemeanor charge. What would happen is it would not change our behavior. More African Americans would be hit with that additional enhancer. And then after a year, they would say, okay, we had 214 incidents at different events and different festivals where people were fighting or whatever, being disruptive. Of the 214? Of the 214, 213 involved African Americans. We wouldn't say, wow, black people are being really super disruptive at these events, we would say that the law, the enhancer, was racist. That's why we can't do it. Because that's exactly what we would say. Anything that penalizes behavior that we do more than anyone else. I'm not saying that white folks don't fight. White folks fight differently. White folks will like fight each other on their boats out on the lake. White folks will fight each other in each other's backyards. You know what I mean? Like they're not fighting on Yacht Rock, the Monday night boat cruise. That's why we couldn't have something like that. What do you want?
Hello there, Sherwin. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, man. I'm about to go on vacation now. Don't mess up the start of my vacation now. Make it quick.
I think it's their culture. I come to a conclusion. I went down to Toma 17 years ago for my son to help me after I had a stroke. He never had time. He was in the service. He never had time. And I was so glad to get back to Milwaukee.
You went where? Where did you go?
Toma, Wisconsin. And it was all white. And I stayed down there June, July, and August. And I was so glad to get back to Milwaukee with the honorary black women and the nice black women and the honorary black men and the nice black men. And I was just regular. You know, it's just the culture. I couldn't, you know, when I'm working and I lived around the white neighborhood, I worked 10 hours, I raised my kids, and I didn't have no interaction with hardly none. But then when I had a stroke, I didn't have nothing to do. You know, go to the casino once in a while, go eat out. And it's just the culture. I think it's come to the conclusion, because I was so glad to get back to Milwaukee, to see black people. I almost kissed the ground when I said, no way. I ain't going to kiss no ground. You know, it's just strange. It's just the culture. White people be nice. Oh, let me help you. And then some don't look at you, they mad and they mean. But, you know, I was just glad to get back to Milwaukee.
All right.
Have a nice vacation.
All right.
Have a nice vacation. Have a nice vacation, and you still make me sick. And then I have to see you after vacation. Taking Thursday and Friday off. You got a lot of nothing.
No, you don't. Ain't nothing obligated to call me back. You ain't got to call at all. Man.
Thursday and Friday, you got off. Thursday and Friday, and you act like you happy. You ought to act like you are sad you leaving us.
I told you, I'm about to start my vacation. You understand it? You ever got me yelling?
Talk to you later.
Thank you guys for listening. I may or may not be at Juneteenth tomorrow. I'm not going to be there. Have a great weekend and a safe weekend. I'll see you on Monday.
Tune into the award-winning 1017 The Truth's Black Business Give Back Spotlight this Friday at 3:57 p.m. between the